Not hate his opponents. He wanted the best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent. And I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, what a lovely tribute that was to a man whose death was possibly a consequence of, well, probably, I think you can say, a consequence of of his politics, albeit that no, despite the desperate attempts of Trump and his allies, there has still been no particular success in proving commitment to a particular cause. That's just horrible, actually. Absolutely. But anyway, he's a leader, remember. No, not a flipping lawyer. Who wants a lawyer? You can have a leader like that. Talking about how much he hates people at a memorial service for somebody who appears to have been a victim of hate.
Really good video from one of my mutuals earlier who was saying that you're going to be asked to make a choice. Everybody in the United States is going to have to make some choices. Maybe you already have. Maybe you have already been put in a position where you have to choose. But if you have not yet, and you think that you are just going to hang out in a place of indecision, in a place of like, I'm skating, under the radar, nobody's noticing, I can be really checked out, I don't have to actually make a stand for or against what's happening, I can just pretend it's not real, I'm just going to ignore it and hope that it all goes away. If you think in 2025 America that you can just skate along and act like you don't know what's happening, and that you won't have to make decisions either for or against fascism, then I got some news for you. And her video resonated so much with me because I came to that decision back in probably January. I had talked about politics a little bit on my TikTok. Obviously, I voted for Kamala Harris. I talked her up a bunch, understanding that we're in a two-party system and she was an imperfect candidate, blah, 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 blah. As somebody who's practiced permaculture for a long time, I can't not be a political person, but the focus of my content and of my life was really about my garden, about non-authoritarian parenting, about sustainable living, especially about building resilient local food economies. That's kind of my wheelhouse. That's kind of the focus of my work. And then back in January, I got to a point where it was really clear to me that Elon Musk and his band of Shitler youth were committing an auto coup. Donald Trump was committing an auto coup, attempting to dismantle the United States of America as a democracy and to institute an authoritarian regime. And I made like a panicked 1 a.m. video where I was like, hey guys, pretty sure what Elon Musk and his little dudes are doing is a coup. I'm pretty sure this is a coup. At the time I was like, I don't have a big platform, but I've got 50,000 subscribers over on YouTube. And I thought like, I'll just say something because I don't know what to do. I feel really powerless, but this is bad. This is real bad. This is not business as usual. This is not politics as usual. And for me, that was a pivotal moment where I had to make a choice, right? I decided that I was going to use my platform to try and advocate for democracy and to fight against a would-be authoritarian. And that also I was going to get very, very educated very, very quickly. I joined Indivisible. I did a gajillion workshops and trainings to learn about how to undermine an authoritarian regime and defend democracy. I did a whole bunch of trainings on, how to de-escalate. I joined the safety team for my Indivisible. I spend all my time calling my elected officials and writing to organizations. I decided that I would, this is my life now. This is my life now. That was my decision. And I've definitely been in a position where I'm frustrated with friends and family that are still in a place of indecision. It is now the end of September in 2025. I know that most Americans do not nerd out heavily on politics. I know that most Americans are doing the best that they can to keep their heads above water as things get more and more difficult. As our quality of life goes down and down, as the regime cracks down harder, people are just trying to make rent and take care of their kids. And no hate to folks who think that they can't plug into politics or they can just pretend this will all go away and maybe it'll get fixed in the midterms. I understand that. Believe me, I have so much compassion for you. But the truth is that we are all going to be put in a position where we have to choose whether we are on the side of fascism or whether we are against it. And it could be something really small, like you're a small business owner and you put a Signs for Solidarity poster in your window. It could be that you wear a button that says no human is illegal. It could be that you are willing to cancel your Disney Plus membership and give them an earful about why that is. Really small things like that, those small acts of resistance, just taking up a posture, choosing a mindset of I'm actually not okay with what's happening. That matters We should not be diminishing people engaging in very small acts where they are consciously making a choice to stand for their fellow Americans, to protect vulnerable people who are being targeted by the regime, and to stand up for democracy. But you may be asked to make a bigger choice. You may be put in a position where a lot more is on the line. Unfortunately, you cannot hide from what's happening in the United States. You can pretend that fascism isn't here, but it will still come knocking at your door, and you will have to make some real life choices. And when I was watching Trans Loving Mama's video this morning, I was like, oh, this reminds me very much of something that we talked about in the Indivisible call on Thursday. I just want to read my notes here to you. This is what Ezra and Leah, who are the founders of Indivisible, were talking about. By the way, if you are not a member of your local Indivisible chapter, maybe there's another grassroots org that's right for you, but if you haven't found your place yet, if you have not found your community of people who are standing up, who are doing the work of protecting folks where you live, then I really encourage you to go to indivisible.org. There were more than 7,000 people on this weekly phone call. I really get a lot out of these calls. It's well worth it for me to take my lunch hour on Thursday.
Like, basically, the thing that I think is different between fandom and anti-fandom is empathy. The ability to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, to identify with their suffering, even their suffering, their struggles, even if you don't relate to it, right? Like, these types of people, and this is what I think the deal is on the right generally, is they just struggle and sometimes just can't identify with perspectives that aren't their own. And it's really as simple as that. And they'll do anything to kind of maintain that. Anyway.
I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage.
You're with Moms for Liberty, so you're telling me there's a new threat besides gender ideology, besides critical race theory. What's this third one?
So social emotional learning is basically the Trojan horse that allows critical race theory, that allows the critical queer theory, teaching our kids how to feel, teaching them about their feeling. Rather than parents paying for a therapist for their children, they let the teachers do it at school.
They talk about their feelings?
They talk about their feelings all the time, or they'll say, it's called formative conversations, and they'll say, so how can we show empathy? Let's say that we have...
So empathy?
Okay, so if the word, let's say they have a word of the week, and the word of the week at my child's school was empathy. And the word, and the teacher started talking, how can we show empathy? And then she says, if you have a friend...
Specifically to your audience that's watching this video right now, how many times are you going to listen to these guys tell you that something is dying or dead when it is not actually dying or dead? How many times are you going to listen to it? How much more of your life are you going to waste letting these people tell you how to feel about movies and TV shows and entertainment?
All right, you assholes.
Who's ready to get fucking raptured? What's up? Let's get raptured.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
Yeah, any day.
I was actually excited about it because I'm like, a bunch of people I don't like are going to be gone as fuck. So I was like, all right.
I know. I was looking forward to either being raptured or like just having peace and quiet for a while. You know.
Yeah, I don't have to see negative comments on my videos. It's great, and they're going to the place they want to go. It's a win.
Right. I mean,
for
yeah,
everybody.
it's good for them. Good for them. You know, I'm happy for them. Surely by the time the stream's done, you know, either we'll be gone or they'll be gone or something will be different. It'll be cool. But you know who won't be gone? Unfortunately.
Bob.
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 Bob. Bob.
How many times?
Jesus Christ, stop.
Hasn't gotten old yet, Bob. Sorry.
You know, I mean, I was thinking about sitting today out because, I mean, nothing happened this past week. Just absolutely nothing.
Really nothing going on.
It's just,
Yeah.
I mean, what's really there to talk about? I mean,
well, I mean, there was this conversation.
Compelling about the show is this is how fascism happens. It doesn't happen overnight. We don't wake up one day and there's a dictator.
It's the banality of evil. That's the thing. It happens around essentially a water cooler, like all these kind of boring.
I mean, they're talking about Andor. Obviously, there's nothing else that they're talking about. They're just talking about Star Wars, and that's it.
Yeah, obviously.
Office politics, and he just nailed that. People.
The committee meetings of the ISB, the mixture of bureaucracy, but also like planning a genocide.
By the way, like I was already, a respecter, mighty respecter of Mehdi Hassan, just based on how he, I'm being awesome. But then I realized watching some clips with him and Mark Ruffalo that he's actually an MCU super fan.
Oh, I didn't realize that. That's awesome.
So he was like asking Ruffalo a bunch of very specific questions and stuff, and clearly, they weren't just written for him. He was like, in real time commenting on stuff, and I was like, hey. Nice.
I will say, like, I was hesitant to like Mehdi Hassan because MSNBC is kind of blah. But the more I see of him, I'm like, this guy's fucking based as fuck.
Wait, because MSNBC, what did you say?
Because of MSNBC, I'm
right. Yeah, I mean, well, that they fired him, so like, because he wanted to talk about Gaza more than they wanted to. So yeah, he went and started Zateo, which their primary focus seems to be that and other things as well. But yeah, I would check out their YouTube channel if you haven't. It's pretty good. How y'all doing? How's the week going?
Will.
Doing a early in the week, late in the evening showcast today. So
yeah, I didn't know if the chat understood why we were live at this time.
Yeah, it all got switched around and late. Like we were trying to figure out when to do it because our schedules were all over the place. Well, mine and Dane's schedule are all over the place.
Yeah, I've got stuff
Eric was kind of
might put me late tomorrow.
Yeah,
and then also just with a lot of stuff going on that like we were live when the Jimmy Kimmel news happened last week toward the end of the stream, so we forgot to mention it. But then like a lot has happened since then, and I was like, man, it's gonna be Wednesday before we even get to talk about what's going on.
Dude,
it's kind of missed the whole thing.
Like I was just finding about the Jimmy Kimmel thing live on the air last week, and then like just digesting at that moment, just being like, this seems really bad, right?
Yeah. It was and is pretty bad. It's still ongoing, although it has taken a different form.
Yes,
Disney
it's taking the form that should have taken to begin with, in my opinion.
True. Disney's doing the right thing, but ABC as well. Same thing, I guess. Sinclair and Nexstar are not. They're digging in.
Fuck them.
That takes out Jimmy Kimmel is going to be not airing for about a little over 25% of its usual audience in the country tonight.
I'm still wondering if tonight's show will like break records even with that massive deficit.
Good.
Because I'll be honest, I'm kind of interested to check it out. Not that I'm like have a box or anything. But yeah, nothing.
One thing I saw them doing was like, and they just regular ass chuds instead of the normal ones that we talk about. But like they're doing the same thing our usual chuds do. Where they're like, look at his ratings. His ratings have been shit. They've been going down every year. And it's like, well, yeah, man, because a lot of people watch this stuff on YouTube now. You can't.
But that doesn't have anything to do with what happened. That's the thing is they keep saying that, but that has nothing to do with it. Like I saw Jester Bell and Nerdrotic both made videos where they said this was probably just an excuse to get rid of him because of his ratings. Number one, he's back, so that was clearly not true. But secondly, the ratings are the excuse. Like if somebody's not doing well with your ratings and it's affecting you negatively as a business, you don't need an excuse to get rid of them. That is the reason why. So
yeah,
it doesn't make any sense that they would need that. Let's pick the most controversial reason to get rid of him versus a reason that nobody would argue against, which is that his ratings were low and we didn't want to continue with the show. It doesn't make any sense to anybody with any fucking
like basically Trump and Brendan Carr admitted to what they're proud of it.
Yes.
It's very clear what happened. Even Sinclair, maybe it was Nexstar or Sinclair, one of the two, said something in their initial thing about it that referenced what Brendan Card said on Guess Who's podcast. Benny Johnsonovich, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
the thing
you
is,
mean Russian asset Benny Johnson?
right?
Comrade Benny.
But the thing is, the game is up though. Like there's no more speculation. A lot of people were arguing in my comments about it. The fact that that Nexstar and Sinclair are both preempting tonight's return of Jimmy Kimmel tells us that it was about the FCC. That that's what it's about, because you can't. There's no. You can't argue that corporations are inherently evil and they're all bad company. Like their argument is that large corporations are bad, right? Like that's their stance on it. You can't argue that and be like, oh, but these two outliers that just happen to side with us on this issue, they're not the bad ones. They're actually doing it because it's against their values. No, Nexstar and Sinclair need the FCC to approve more stations for them to acquire because they have reached the cap. They are at the top end. They can't get any more. So they have to have their help.
Wait. You're just going to drop Ryan in? Don't you have some entertaining clips about Ryan?
No, I don't have anybody
this guy or something.
Ryan repeatedly.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. You didn't get raptured?
Damn. Oh, yeah. I forgot
that explains the Halo. I see.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to it, man.
The Wi-Fi is pretty good in heaven then? Or
it is. I mean, heaven is pretty much exactly the same, but there's no Republicans here.
Oh, wow.
Weird.
That is
it's just me. It's just me, a load of homosexuals, transgender people, people from all over the sort of racial spectrum and sexual spectrum. Yeah, it's really weird. No conservatives at all.
Wow.
Interesting. So I talked about this on one of my streams, but I wanted to make sure that this is just known more, because even in the article that this is from, the Hollywood Reporter article, what did I say? They kind of buried this in like the 7th or 8th paragraph or something, and I took it and put it right there on the on this image. But like that paragraph, the situation became a safety issue as Disney employees saw their emails doxed. Per the first source, some even received death threats. Disney wanted Kimmel to address the situation in a way that would turn down the temperature, but what he planned was going to fan the flames with the MAGA fan base. So this is just like terrorist threats were a part of this.
This tracks, though. I mean, this doesn't surprise me at all. This is typical behavior from a lot of the crazy people on that side of the aisle.
But no, it's Antifa is a very organized, violent gang that's doing all kinds of violence and stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of go back to something I was saying a little bit ago, because I did want to add some context, because I did offline. I did watch the Nerdrotic video on this, and his argument wasn't even that the ratings were bad or anything. His argument was what Jimmy Kimmel said was so offensive that only made sense to take it down. It was just like, are you one of those free speech guys? Like,
I want to remind people that free speech exists specifically to protect offensive speech. That's the reason it exists. If we were all saying stuff that everyone was okay with, there would be no reason for free speech to exist.
Add to it what he said.
And Nerdrotic knows that. He knows that's what it's
true.
Well, I mean, let's go over what was said again, because at that point, I don't even think we fully realized what it's been said. That was last week whenever it popped up at the end of the stream. So it was the thing that they're saying it's about. The thing that they like to say is that he made a factual error in saying that it was a MAGA guy that shot Charlie Kirk, when that is not what he said. In fact, I mean, I the only thing I'm willing to give them is that his word choice could be taken either way. And I understand, that they're probably too dumb and bad faith to want to give any grace on the fact that it could be taken
Although,
either way.
when it comes to defending these chuds, they will go out of their way to be like, oh, you're misunderstanding. Right. When it comes to Charlie Kirk, I can't believe the number of times I
want to reiterate,
missing context.
I don't care if it offends them. I want to reiterate this. Right. I don't give a fuck. The free speech protections we have in this country gives us the right to offend people.
Well, and that's the thing is, it's not the thing that they're saying it's about that he said isn't even really that. And if you watch the whole clip, you can tell what it's really about, what Trump actually got upset about, which is being called out for not giving a fuck that Charlie Kirk was dead. A day, 2 days later.
Well, there's that, and there's also the fact that in that bit, he's talking about how Trump is desperately distracting from Epstein, which is true. Yes. Two topics Trump desperately doesn't want to talk about right now: Epstein and the fucking economy, which is tanking hard,
and healthcare, because that's why they're not. That's why most of the House is out right now, and we could possibly end up with a government shutdown because they don't want to address any of the healthcare shit that's going on. So,
and just the fact that he's supposed to be, you know, that Charlie Kirk was supposed to be really important to the MAGA movement, and everybody's so sad, he's so, you know, distraught over it. They were friends with him, right? He was their
Even
friend.
though most of these people never talked about him until this happened. But
well, that's what we're going to get into something with it related to that, because here's the thing. I did a good bit of research on well, TPUSA, who funded it, who funds it, Charlie Kirk's I'll say it, grooming process from whenever he was a younger man to where he was when he was killed, which, to reiterate, shouldn't have happened. He should not have been killed. That's the position, I think, of everybody here. Nobody here thinks.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
it's murder. I know it's a
I've had
bold
people.
stance, but
I
yeah.
want to reiterate this here one more time, because I had people in my comment section trying to straw man my position on this. I have said many times I don't agree with gun violence at all. Period. So obviously that means that I don't think this should have happened to him. However, him as a person, I didn't like him, and I'm apathetic to anything that was going on with him in his life. But I will not condone violent acts with weapons. That's, I mean, I've said it so many times, and they keep straw manning me in my comment section. It's like,
well, yeah, they don't know how to engage with things with any kind of nuance, or they don't want to typically, unless it's to defend their own shit. But I mean, yeah, nobody here thinks it's good. Nobody here celebrated it. You know, yeah. To any degree that I've you know, started kind of poking fun about it, it's because I realized after several days of being very reverent and not being a shithead about it, that many of these people, if not all of them that I've seen, are being really disingenuous and using this as a fucking cynical cudgel. They're basically, as I said the other day, they're figuratively grabbing his corpse by the leg and beating people with it.
This is why we can't be this. Look, I'm gonna just be honest about this. This is why we cannot be like, we can't give grace or any sort of cordiality, is that even a word, to the people that are out here saying this stuff, because if we are actually genuine with them, they don't care. They will continue to try and say negative things about you, even if you're basically licking their ass on this. Like, that's just the reality of it.
Nerdrotic's response is the perfect example. He doesn't think this is too offensive. He doesn't think this is beyond the pale. The only reason he doesn't say the N-word and worse on his stream is because he's on YouTube. That's the only reason. If YouTube allowed him to say whatever he wanted, if YouTube were as free speech as the Constitution, he would be saying it all.
So here's some
there's
previous.
nothing he wouldn't say. He doesn't say the sorts of things that will get him demonetized, not because he believes they're too offensive, but because they'll get him demonetized.
That's it. Exactly. Yeah. Here's some previous examples of his takes on, you know, punishing people or having them fired for their speech. You know, it's pretty clear where his position was prior to September 10th. And then suddenly, on a dime, it shifted.
Yeah.
And yeah, we looked at that last week, and you know, it's pretty obvious.
I'm going to say it's pretty shocking to me, because they could have literally made it so we didn't have anything to say about them if they would have just shifted their position on this slightly. Because if they would have been consistent in their feelings about this and their positions on this, I would, and I said this in my video, I wouldn't have had anything to say about them, because they would have been aligning with their own pattern of logic, right? So Disney is awful, right? They virtue signal. Yeah. They could have ran with that. They shouldn't have got rid of Kimmel. This is just more virtue signaling from Disney. All the people that supported Disney, you believe virtue signaling. You know what I mean? They could have ran with that one.
On Disney's against free speech.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. They could have done that. And then they also would have proved that they're not all in an echo chamber. There was a couple of different things they could have done in this position that would have worked, but they decided to side with white nationalist, alt-right bullshit, authoritarian government shit, when they could have just said, we are free speech 100%. We don't like Jimmy Kimmel, but we think that what is being done here is wrong. Like other people have said. There's other people in the industry that have said the same thing, who are also conservative, also on the other side of the aisle. Tucker Carlson has been very outspoken about this. I think even Ted Cruz has been outspoken about this. Marjorie Taylor Greene has been outspoken about this. But
the worst people you know are making good points right now.
I mean, this is exactly the same as the Gina Carano situation, where they completely flipped on their opinion of her when they found out she was a Republican. They hated her when they thought that she was just a woman. But when they found out she was a Republican woman, all of a sudden, they went to bat for her. So they clearly have no principles about this. And they never have. It's all just about the grift for people like Nerdrotic.
And then
I think we all knew that, but now he's just revealing himself.
Well, even Joe Rogan said, he's like, if you don't think, and I think it was Joe Rogan, if I'm wrong here, I apologize. But if you don't think that the lizard people in suits are thinking about what they're going to do 3 years from now when it's time for the next election, once they've decided that a bunch of people are okay with free speech oppression, I've got news for you. You know what I mean? So like, some people do realize that this is a bad standard. This is a bad standard for them to set.
Well, not the ones that are all up in their feelings at all times and just reactive to those feelings and think they're objective, rational boys like this guy.
I think this is true though. I think, look, if Democrats came in and even did something remotely close to this, they would be losing their minds.
Yep.
They would be losing their minds about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys are interested, we can look over the exact clip because I'm pretty sure they aren't really keeping an eye on it because I did a video with a whole bunch of this segment in it. And they
probably because so many outlets are covering it, like right-wing outlets are covering it. They don't want to hit anybody for it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's been on the Daily Show's YouTube coverage of it. All of the big late night people are covering it and showing the clips. So
I just want to give a piece of advice to these guys. That's particularly the one that I just showed a comment from. There's another one here that I want to point out. And this is just like free advice to the people on the right. If you're mad that people have been calling you Nazis, don't call them degenerates. Just a little pro tip there. Just not doesn't do you any favors. That's all I'm saying.
You know why they're worried though? They're worried because they think they perceive the world the way that they feel about things. So in their mind, they're like, hey, this is what I would do if I were them. And that's why it scares me. So everything they're worried about is how they think they would be in that position. Like, that's why they don't want to give equal rights to black people in America, is they're worried black people will start treating them like they've treated black people for all these years. That's the reason why.
Yeah, because they don't have empathy to extend, so they just figure that nobody else does either, right? That obviously we're gonna punish them for and put them in camps or whatever. I don't know what the fuck they think, but yeah.
Well, they're always in revenge mode, and I think that's what that.
I mean, there's a comment right now that shows that it's all about revenge. Like there's a comment right. That comment right there is like, hey, we don't like that you're doing this, but we're going to do it too because you did it, and somehow that makes us better than you.
Right. No, yeah, that's the justification they've been using, including Nerdrotic. Real quick before we watch this.
So I also want to say, if you don't want to be called Nazis, stop doing Nazi shit.
Yeah, I mean, it really, and yeah, as simple as that. But
like crushing free speech.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they it is. Go ahead, Bob. I'm sorry. We'll watch this first.
Oh, okay. All right.
Somebody we can trust, though, right? We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House.
Wow.
Which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction.
Yeah.
Demolition.
See, I don't even think that's the funniest version of that joke. Somebody on Twitter said Trump in the 0 stages of grief, and that made me laugh. But yeah, so to answer this real quick. So the difference is, buddy, is that we actually know what we're saying whenever we say that, and you don't. Because
I would love to know what a commie is.
Right. Explain what a commie is. Explain what a commie is.
You don't have definitions that you can, even fucking back up.
Explain what a commie.
Nazi shit, or at least many of us, the people here, I think we're gonna fucking have some kind of definition that we can point to and parallels that we can actually say, look, this looks just like fucking Nazi shit, man. And you're just saying words that are buzzwords because you fucking found them in on 4chan or whatever.
I mean, Elon Musk practically Zeke-heiled at the inauguration, and
I mean,
nobody was allowed to call that.
Besides the fact that this logic right here is fucking spineless little fucking tiny dicked fucking no principled. It's just the shittiest fucking human being you could possibly be, is to go, the people that I loathe and hate did a thing, so that makes it okay for me.
I know it's so fucking so what now? You guys are okay with like trans people and gay people, right? because we're okay with that. So I guess if you're doing everything that we do, then go ahead, welcome in the trans community, welcome in the gay community, put DEI everywhere. Like or is it only the oppressive stuff that you guys think you want to align with?
Right. It's the things that allow them to do more shit that they want to do that hurts people. That's what they were okay with. That's it. But yeah, this is one that I saw. I think Nerdrotic posted this. He's definitely posting very similar memes to this in response to why it's suddenly okay for them to be all about cancel culture, because the people that he hates and thinks have abhorrent views did it for years, apparently, even though the examples he's given are things like that Joe Biden had somebody cancel, like that. It's not even the same thing. The government did not get involved with any of the fucking shit.
It's false equivalency arguments. That's all it is. It's false equivalency arguments. Like, there is no standard that the Democrats set that even come remotely close to the stuff that Trump is doing right now. I've told people before, everything that's happening is an extension of his White House administration. The FCC now has to go directly through Trump for everything that happens. So if we pretend that Trump didn't know that this is what Brendan Carr was going to doing, then you're saying he's a incompetent president. You're saying he's incompetent because now he gets to see everything come across his desk. Supposedly, unless there's some other person that's actually running the White House and Trump is just an idiot in charge.
I mean, it's a good point. Why didn't Biden get rid of Fox News, right?
Oh yeah, somebody in my comments was like, "What AOC said they should do something about it." Yeah, after January 6th, when they were asking about like the news coverage of January 6th, there were some comments made about that, but there was never anything formally filed through the FCC to do anything to Fox News. So nothing like that it's never even been close to this.
Also, AOC is in no position to do anything about
exactly.
It.
She doesn't make policy.
No,
well, in their mind, she's like the most powerful sorceress of evil ever. So
that's probably why America was communist for those 4 years, wasn't it? I remember that when the government seized the
famously
control
very
of the
communist
means of production. Which is
remember, there were four trans athletes for a while, and so this is why all this is happening.
That's true. That's
true. I mean,
that justifies
an epidemic of trans athletes.
Gay people have a pride flag. This is why this is all happening. The crosswalk at Pulse nightclub. This is why this is all happening. Take away your free, like all of it is so ridiculous. Oh, we had somebody jump in.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I think Chariot has arrived.
I mean, 3 weeks ago they were this upset about Cracker Barrel changing their logo. So
right.
True.
I mean, yeah. So go back to the stop doing Nazi shit. Like seriously, literally, stop doing Nazi shit. And also evil sorcerer shit. So what I pointed out on my YouTube post with this image that I made here, or put these together rather, is that at that top image there, just think at one point everybody in that picture was calling for the release of the Epstein files.
I do want to bring this up. Yeah, there are 3 House seats up for grabs right now in Arizona, and the Democrats are almost guaranteed to get them. So,
yeah, I do have. There's a video that my downloader wasn't working, unfortunately, but I do have a video that we could look at really quick that shows the parallels between, greasy vampire Stephen Miller's speech and things that Goebbels said, because it is.
Dude, be careful.
I was like,
do not say
maybe they're
Stephen
being
Miller. I was just gonna say, don't say Stephen Miller's name too much. It will summon him. Okay.
Oh,
be careful. Okay.
Yeah, like I was like, maybe there's some parallels or whatever. No, he pretty much just plagiarized him in some spots. It's fucking crazy.
Welcome, Chariot. Yeah.
Welcome.
Oh yes, hello. Sorry for doing this to the gay community.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because Chariot joined the stream. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many videos I've seen with people saying, what is it? Leah Thomas caused all this, and I'm like, what?
It's true. She had too much swag.
Yeah. Leah Thomas, the person
I can't argue with that.
They say dominated everything, and only like one race ever in her career, but
right.
dominated.
Which one, was that the one that basically got
Riley Gaines
or something like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
That's the one Riley Gaines has been able to grift off of quite nicely.
Oh yeah, the big grift. On that
Oh
one.
yeah, Riley Gaines had her ass handed to her on Piers Morgan the other day. So
oh good,
that was kind of funny.
To hear that. Well, yeah. Did we want to look at any of the? I mean, we do need to, but like, essentially, here's a snippet.
Not hate his opponents. He wanted the best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent, and I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, what a lovely tribute that was.
Yeah.
To a man whose death was possibly a consequence of, well, probably, I think you can say, a consequence of of his politics, albeit that despite the desperate attempts of Trump and his allies, there has still been no particular success in proving commitment to a particular cause. That's just horrible, actually. Absolutely. But anyway, he's a leader, remember. No, not a flipping lawyer. Who wants a lawyer? You can have a leader like that talking about how much he hates people at a memorial service for somebody who appears to have been a victim of hate.
Yeah, I want to point out there was an article that came out a couple of days ago. Yeah, that's the one, NBC News, that shows that the reason why they've stopped kind of talking about the details is there's no evidence that can really nail down anything they've said about this person. And this person still hasn't gone to court yet. That's the other thing. All of this is happening and not been to court yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, based on everything we've seen, if I had to guess, I'd say he had no strong political opinions either way. Not really. But that he was raised in a culture that lionized guns and...
Yep. So, I mean, he clearly started breaking towards not necessarily leftist ideology, but like more humanist kind of, I guess, views. It's, I guess, since he went to college or whatever, which is one of the reasons they hate, their kids going to college. So, I mean, I would say that, like, honestly, if he had actually been kind of scooped up by some, specific leftists and taught some ideology, that he would have been far less likely to actually shoot Charlie Kirk. Because that's really not a way to achieve any kind of a goal, to just kill one guy who basically had kind of fallen off in terms of relevance, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Accidentally cancel Bob.
How dare you?
All right, so I got the clip here of Trump on Air Force One responding to the Jimmy Kimmel situation.
Oh yeah,
which is great.
Mr. President, are you going to ask Brendan Carr to weigh in on other late-night hosts that you have said should be off the air?
Late-night host is on network television. There is a licensing. I'll give you an example. I read someplace that the networks were 97% against me. I got 97% negative, and yet I won it easily. I won all 7 swing states, popular, I won everything. And if they're 97% against, they give me only bad
Who cares?
press.
Yeah.
I mean, they're getting a license. I would think maybe their license should be taken away. It will be up to Brendan Carr. I think Brendan Carr is outstanding. He's a patriot. He loves our country, and he's a tough guy. So we'll have to see.
By the way, up to Brendan Carr. Brendan Carr has to get everything approved through Trump.
Maybe take away their license.
Yeah, he has everything that Brendan Carr does has to get approved by Trump. So whatever he's saying is like, yeah, he could do it, but it's going to have to go through me first, right? So, by the way, I also want to point out, I put a screenshot up of that quote, and I had people telling me that quote wasn't about Jimmy Kimmel, and I'm like, no, it absolutely was about Jimmy Kimmel, because the question they asked was about late night talk show hosts.
He was asked about late night talk show hosts. It's absolutely about Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
I love that they called it a press gaggle. He held a press gaggle on his plane, not a press conference.
Seems kind of like a low-key insult, but by the way, Donald, looking good, man. Just looking really good. Keep it up, bud.
This is what peak masculine performance looks like.
His face is still drooping. His face is still drooping on one side too.
Yep.
Apparently, if I want to look better, I need to bleach my hair like gold and then spray paint my face gold as well. Like, what the
This
fuck
guy-
is that
he's
he's wearing? Like, what the-
He's sundowning his way through fucking, the trying to do a, rise of fascism, and it's like simultaneously kind of entertaining and also terrifying at the same time. So
I mean, I love how you can see the clear line of gold on that picture.
yeah, it's
like, his ear just looks normal, but like there's this line where skin looks normal and then it's fucking gold.
yeah, it's like I was fooled until right now. This whole time I thought, man, that must be his natural tone, and right now I'm realizing, oh no, it's not. Okay.
The thing is, though, that color actually works because as ridiculous as he looks to us, without it, he's horrific. If you see him without the makeup on, he's horrific.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
if it was a natural tan, it would look fine.
Well, no, just his natural skin looks awful, which is why he's got all that filler on. It might make him look like a clown to us, but hey, could you guess the age of a clown?
True.
Looks like a testicle with a face.
I don't know if you saw in the chat, but apparently Apple have postponed Savant indefinitely as a result
I did see that.
Jesus Christ.
Which doesn't surprise me because it was about catching exactly the sort of people that that is the guy who killed Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. That sucks to hear. I would have thought. I mean, I don't know what I would have thought, but I would have hoped that Apple would not fucking. I mean, because like when we talked about it, they never talk about anything on Apple Plus TV or whatever the fuck, right? That's the first time that I can remember them going after something like that, which is telling in itself.
I mean, in a way, it's understandable because every time there's any sort of
in a way,
like
but it also in a way it
here,
seems like capitulation, and we just don't need any of that right now.
No, but anytime there's any sort of tragedy here of any kind, they will take off TV programs that might potentially be reflected in that. But it's weird because it's in the world of streaming now. Like you could watch anything on any of the other streaming networks that was made at any other time. You could go and watch that. So yeah, it's weird in that respect. And you would have thought it would be actually useful because it's about somebody catching these people, which apparently don't exist because actually they're something else, according to Critical Drinker.
Yeah, according to Critical Drinker, the real villain are the people catching these guys.
So just real quick, I want to look at a quick little comparison of Stephen Miller's. This is from a channel called Ebb and Flow. I recommend subscribing to him if you haven't heard of him. He talks a lot about like the Rogan sphere and all that stuff going on, but also just politics generally from left view. And he helpfully put this together.
That you cannot withstand my strength. And the warrior whispers back, I am the storm. Erica is the storm. We are the storm. And our enemies cannot comprehend our strength, our determination, our resolve, our passion, our lineage, and our
This is supposed to
legacy.
be like a eulogy here.
Right,
Like,
yeah, that's the thing.
Our
This-
enemies? Like, what the
man?
fuck are we doing? Like,
yeah. This
This-
is
the-
a rally. Fuck
Erica
off.
Trump came out to fucking pyrotechnics and shit, fucking blasting off and shit. Like I think they all did, but I was a clip of her coming out that I was like, really? Like somebody asked a question, many questions really. Where were Charlie Kirk's? Where's his sister? He's got a sister at least, maybe more siblings. Where were his parents? They're both alive. Where were they?
Mm-hmm.
They're
Where was
in the audience,
anybody
and
that
they
you would
weren't allowed
expect to see at someone's memorial?
Yeah, I want to point out that up before he went into talking about his enemies, he was also quoting Doctor Who said, "I am the oncoming storm" as well.
Yeah,
So-
I was that rung a bell with me because
Yeah.
didn't that become a meme of like responding, "I am the blank"?
Yeah, for a while it did.
I mean-
And then there was something else about the devil whispering in your ear. What will you do when the storm comes? And then you respond, "I am the storm." So
Yeah, that I mean, I can't place where that comes from now, but that was a meme. I mean, this
was clearly
the
his
lack of
biggest moment. Like he was looking
Yeah.
like this is he was probably jerking off under that podium. Like it's
I mean, the lack of
Ew.
the lack of
did any of you watch this
sincerity
entire
here
thing?
is insane.
No. No, I've been kind of avoiding it, to be honest, because it just sounds gross.
Erica Kirk came out and said she forgives the shooter, and seems kind of sincere. I don't know, maybe you can never tell with these folks, but I found it interesting that she tried to set the tone, or she sort of set the tone of, I forgive the shooter, etc., whatever. And then all these other dudes come out and shit all over that sentiment.
Yeah, absolutely. And did you see Trump tried to mouth kiss her?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Whenever
that's so gross.
Like she came up and they hugged. They hugged. They did kind of marginally like iffy on its own, but like when they first kind of embraced, he clearly tried to just like plant one right on her lips.
I mean, in his defense, I guess it's not like he can get any kisses from his wife. So
it's true. I mean, they're literally apparently not sleeping together anymore. So which might.
I mean, she has got a bit old for him now, though, hasn't she? So
that's true. The kiss-proof hat she wore at the inauguration should have tipped us all off.
Yeah,
that thing would like slice the top of his skull off if he tried to lean in for a kiss.
Hails back
if only
to Athens, to Rome, to Philadelphia, to Monticello. Our ancestors built the cities. They produced the art and architecture. They built the industry.
Like, what's fucking bizarre is that, like, who is he distinguishing here? Because, like, lineage and all that shit, that doesn't really apply in the way that he's talking about it. Like, it's just it's fucking just not deranged Nazi speak, but it doesn't even actually fucking mean anything.
Oh, it doesn't map onto reality at all. I mean, the things I picked out, if you've got to point back to your ancestry in Athens, I got something to tell you about the Greeks, pal.
Yeah.
That,
they were very heterosexual.
They were completely heterosexual, and didn't have any. They would not have been in the Epstein files at all. They
Also,
definitely wouldn't have.
True.
He doesn't look black to me. He's talking about the country.
That was the other thing I was going to say. That we built the industries. Did you know? That's not how I remember it going. They didn't build stuff.
Right.
Erica stands on the shoulders of thousands of years of warriors.
So, well, I've noticed it before, but it just became very clear that this is just a thing. He's got this tick where his head kind of cocks to the right, and he's like, have you guys seen that? Whenever he gets really fucking like agitated, which is pretty much any time you ever see him in a video, he kind of does this, and it's just, I don't know. To me, it's just like him trying to contain his fucking impotent rage, I guess.
To me, it's just trying to contain the evil energies within him, because like I swear to God, Stephen Miller's like the most evil motherfucker in the world every time I look at him.
It's worth remembering this guy would be nowhere if it wasn't for Donald Trump. Like,
true.
Donald Trump, his whole appeal is he's very off the wall, and he's got a kind of personable, quirky kind of quality to him, where he's at least interesting. Stephen Miller is a sauceless, dead-eyed psychopath. There's nothing in this man.
But I mean, it tells you about Trump quite a bit, that this is now the second administration he's been right up at the tip top, under Trump which means that Trump wants him specifically for his fucking immigration and racial, views. Like, this is a guy who has a copy and respects the fucking Turner Diaries as like a work of fiction, or aspirational fiction, I should say.
If you read the latest Rolling Stone article about him, he's effectively our shadow president right now anyway.
Yes.
So I want to note the commentary is the comments are relating him to Nosferatu. I just want to say, guys, it's kind of cruel. Nosferatu was never as evil as Stephen Miller. Sure. Not even close. No.
Yeah. And did you guys see there was a video from like when he was in college, I think maybe he was on on some bus trip, went around a while back, and he's talking about, like, this is during rah post 9/11 America era, and he's saying that, like, he's basically like saying that we don't need to kill people, we need to torture people. He starts off, and at first you're like, oh wow, he's saying let's not kill a bunch of Muslims, and then he goes into like why it's really important that we torture a lot of people, and like why torture is actually really awesome. And it's just like, oh Jesus fucking Christ,
definitely a person who
evil
should be in a lot of power.
of women who raised up families, raised up city, raised up industry, raised up civilization, who pulled us out of the caves and the darkness into the light. The light will over the
This is not even a good speech. Like it's so like shoehorned with all these references that he's clearly wanting to get in there.
He also doesn't have any
kind of saying.
He delivers it. It's not even a great delivery, honestly.
I mean, I hate to say it, but like there's an original series episode of Enterprise, not Enterprise, but Star Trek that talks about, not essentially Nazi shit, and how like they're hearing a Nazi speech and they're like, he's not really saying anything, and they're like, yeah, this is kind of just the shtick, This is kind of...
Well, I don't know if any of you are familiar with The Office, but there's one where Dwight has to give a speech, and so Jim writes it for him, but he just uses a Mussolini speech. But Dwight delivers it to a room full of people, and they love it. They completely get behind it. And I mean, this feels like that, but if Dwight had even less charisma than he does as a character, it's complete platitudes that mean nothing, that are not based in any sort of reality. But I get the feeling he's speaking from the heart. He truly believes all of this bullshit, these vague allusions to warriors that.
So it's actually Project 2025 is the name of it. But speaking of, we looked at this on the Fapcast the other day, and there is actually a tracker that you can go to. It's called project2025.observer.en. 47%. That's where we're at. And then it actually breaks down what all the, in terms of what was explicitly stated. Of course, some of Project 2025 they did not release, apparently. So this is based on what we know was in there. And you can kind of look at just, by different measures and different things that have been rescinded and, executive orders and whatnot. Breakdown of different departments.
And I just want to state that while it's at 47%, the number it should be at is fucking 0.
Every one of these is this whole thing is designed to destabilize the U.S. I've been working on I've got a new theory. I won't, spell it out necessarily here. I might probably do it on Friday, but about what I think is going on. Essentially, it's all, I won't get into it now, but.
But also, holy shit, only 47%. Look at all the damage they've caused already.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other 53%, as far as I can remember, is the really bad stuff.
And also keep in mind, we are 8 months into this administration. We got over 3 years left of this.
This might be a hot take. I don't think they're going to be able to do everything they want to do.
No, I don't think they'll get them all done. But they're already, they already got more done. I want.
They have, but like tonight in Arizona, the margin in the House is getting very tight for them. And I know some states are trying to push against this, especially before next year, and going into midterms and stuff. But they're not doing a good job of it. A lot of Republican areas are losing representatives. They're losing ground with Trump support. And the healthcare thing is a big deal, which is why they haven't brought the House back. Why Mike Johnson hasn't brought the House back, because they don't want to have to deal with it. They're closing hospitals and healthcare facilities in a lot of communities, and guess what? Most of them are Trump supported communities because they never realized that they're the ones that are quote unquote leeching off of the system. It was them all along. No,
they do realize it. They just don't want it to be them and black people. They're willing They're willing to let themselves suffer and make their own followers suffer, as long as it means they can also make queer people and people of color suffer. Yeah. If it was just white people getting all these benefits and not people of color and queer people and whatever, they would have no problem.
Yeah. Columbia Rican. Oh, sorry. Okay. I was going to say here, right here, this comment from Columbia Rican. Oh, sorry.
I was trying to select.
All right, I got it. As it looks right now, I haven't checked recently, and maybe someone else has more updates on this, but it looks like the House is almost a guaranteed return to Democrats. The Senate is where it's a little bit tighter from the last time I checked. So,
which is how things once upon a time were.
Yeah.
I mean, Don't fuck it up, Dems. Don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Man,
I'm
not gonna lie,
favorite.
I am getting sick of how skilled the Dems are at fucking things.
Yeah, have you forgotten that the Democratic Party is the Democratic Party?
Yeah.
It's worse.
We have a long tradition of pulling defeat from the jaws of victory.
Dude,
it's honestly, genuinely, it's worse than it was the first time. I would rather. I want Nancy Pelosi.
The 95
I
Dems to
know,
sign on
Nancy
to this
Pelosi
fucking
is
Charlie
way
Kirk
better
thing.
than Schumer or Jeffries.
Yeah, Jeffries is awful.
And
He fucking
Schumer
signed
and
that Charlie
Pelosi
Kirk thing,
sucked
but he
too,
hasn't
but she
yet.
was better.
He hasn't fucking.
Look, he just hasn't
endorsed
crafted-
on it yet. So.
Is there lag going on for other people? I'm getting
guess
like
so.
a lot of lag from like people in here. I don't know if it's me or what it is, but
It's probably me, maybe my internet or something, because it seems like I keep trying to talk and then some people are already talking. So yeah.
Would you like to talk now, Dane?
What's that?
I said, would you like to talk now?
I'm good. I just wanted to show this. Speaking of Arizona, so Arizona is where the Charlie Kirk Memorial was held, and allegedly 100,000 people were there.
I love
a lot of people came in from out of state, out of town, and as happens, anytime there's a big conservative Republican, gathering, Grindr gets shut down. Like, you just fucking can't handle it. It's fucking just.
I do think that a degree of a lot of the world's problems would get resolved if these motherfuckers would just come out of the closet and be happy with who they are. But no.
Now, this was all just Benny Johnson.
This is all just Benny Johnson single-handedly caused
He's
this.
busy. Well, I wouldn't say single-handedly.
Yeah,
who
do you think was hidden behind Stephen Miller's podium?
Oh God.
Jesus Christ.
I know I say this a lot about Trump supporters, but the dick eating is crazy.
Yeah. Y'all saw that clip from not too long ago where they had a cabinet meeting and everybody had to go around and say something really nice about Trump and what he's been doing and stuff. It was like,
I think they have to do that every day. I'm pretty sure they have to do that every day.
Yeah.
And
Trump is checked out. They give him projects to work on, like the ballroom.
Oh yeah.
And the Charlie Kirk thing, like the show. And then they have Stephen Miller actually running the government.
It wouldn't surprise me at all because Trump does not seem. Well, I don't think Trump cares. Trump likes campaigning. That's it. Yeah.
It is
he likes talking, I think, more than anything. He likes talking and he likes making sure that people listen. So,
he loves the sound of his voice. He loves a captured audience, and he can't even tell. Like, if you remember the rallies and stuff prior to the election, like one of the reasons I started thinking, oh yeah, we're gonna win this shit, is like his fucking people weren't showing up to his rallies for one thing, but then the ones that were there were just like fucking falling asleep almost. It's like, oh wow, he really has lost his magic, his mojo. But
also his whole campaign last time was like pure fucking racism. It was disgusting. I was really disgusted that he won, and that disgust was with the American people after he won. But yes.
That is the thing about Americans, is that like I think maybe it's just the intensification year after year from 9/11 onward, but like I do kind of feel like even the racist people in our communities are like, boo, get better material. We already heard the one about the Muslims. Like, it's crazy, but it's like they're getting bored.
And then also,
yeah, spoiler alert: racist will never be the best.
Ableist meme incoming. I'm sorry, but it's just fucking true. It's.
I mean, that first the MAGA then. It's just. Oh, it reminds me of Paul Ryan. Do you remember him?
Yes.
Vaguely, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, he did a photo shoot where he was posing with gym equipment, and this just brings that all back. He was the bright, shining star of the Republican Party. I think he'd been Tea Party, and then he went into, because he lost, he went into corporate something or other, and now he's making billions probably. But God, I miss those days.
I miss the days when I would like argue with like conservatives online and they would say shit to me like I don't agree with what you say, but I'll defend to the death your right to say it, which was very
When they have
cheesy and
principles, you mean.
probably not
Yeah.
true.
Oh,
But
obviously not
I
true.
do
I
miss
mean,
the
like-
sentiment a little bit.
The
Because now
attempt
it's
to-
literally,
the
I got a
attempt to-
comment the other day. By the way, I have not made any content about like the Charlie Kirk thing. I wasn't even on the Shillcast streams about it. So I basically like all I did was retweet a couple people and like talk, like I think I posted something on Blue Sky where I was like, this guy spent like years of his like life lying about people, and now like his life is over. May God have mercy on his soul, or something like that. And that was like the harshest thing that I had to say. Literally, I called his death tragic, and that was kind of my whole statement. And I got it. I was getting comments, and there was one in particular that was crazy, where it was like somebody going on this like long ass rant about how I was going to be murdered, and I was like, bro, what did I do? I was like, what did I do? Like you literally can't not say anything. Like
you have to honor him. That's the thing. We must honor him.
Must honor him.
We
must honor Charlie Kirk. His name was Charlie Kirk.
His name was
His
Charlie
name
Kirk.
was Charlie Kirk.
Oh, Dane, Chris in the chat has reminded me that it's time we both took our Tylenol.
What's that?
True. True. Real.
Chris in the chat has reminded me that you and I need to both take our Tylenol. I'm not sure if anybody else does here.
Right, yeah.
I need to refill the autism
I need to
meter.
get more Tylenol. I have aspirin, but I think I need to get Tylenol. I think
You guys, I mean, look, I'm just kind of honestly a little bit happy that they didn't go with vaccines.
Yeah. At this point, it feels like, in a way, this is the least harmful thing they could have done. And
maybe some really gullible pregnant women don't take Tylenol. That's marginally better, or maybe much better than people not getting vaccines. I don't know.
Well, acetaminophen is the least dangerous pain medication to give pregnant people.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, of course it is. Yeah.
It honestly seems like there's some kind of machination behind deciding that. You know what I mean? Like, RFK Jr. had said that by September he would have the big reason of why people are autistic. Never mind the fact that autistic people have been around forever. It's something that affects over 100 genes, and so that means it's not going to be just something like a Tylenol that causes it. You know what I mean? Not to mention the fact that the underlying presumption about all this is that somehow it's just inherently bad to be autistic. No, in his terms, as RFK made clear to him, it's just about, these people don't contribute to society or whatever, which is not true. There are many autistic people who contribute to society, and even if they don't, who fucking cares? But anyway, that's a whole other conversation. $10 super chat.
Yeah.
Hates they're comparing Charlie Kirk's death to that girl that died. One died horribly, and the other one was Charlie Kirk. I mean, he died horribly too. I don't want to,
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of comparisons. I actually don't know which girl this is.
I think it's
about.
the Ukrainian girl.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
stabbed.
So that's the thing. That's a good point that you didn't know, because it's almost like it hasn't been pushed into or outside of MAGA algorithms very much. Right? Like, I've talked to a couple people that didn't know anything about it. I barely just kind of happened upon it, and then I realized, this is something that they've been mainlining for a couple of months or something now, and we barely even knew it happened.
I was just thinking, there's so many girls who have died.
Well,
Like,
the
it's
first
not
time they
funny,
cared about a
but-
Ukrainian life, at least, you know what I mean? So there's a Ukrainian immigrant girl who was, I think she was 23, pretty blonde girl. She was getting off of work. She was on, where was it? Was it North Carolina?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and she was on public transit, and there's a obviously mentally ill, who had a history of violence and all kinds of shit guy that I guess the judge had released or something. I don't remember the details. I don't know how much of what I've seen is actually factual anyway, but it's on video where this dude just kind of gets up and stabs her to death on the video, and he's a black guy, and so of course the narrative becomes what you expect it to become from Chuds in that case, instead of we need to do something about mental health care or anything like that. Nope, it's just it's these animals. I've seen that several times.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, yeah, and this white on white violence has really overshadowed their attempt to make that into a big race thing. So,
and also the fact that almost every time the killer is a man, we're just not talking about that.
Yeah,
and I think
I do want to say that this take in my opinion, from Critical Ox, this kind of take is not helpful. It's okay to say we shouldn't have to mourn Charlie Kirk or care, but to minimize the fact that he was murdered this way, when a lot of people genuinely are grieving over this, like his family probably is, I'm sure. And given the political climate, this kind of take is not helpful. There's a lot. This crosses a line for me personally. I would say, like, it's okay to say I'm not going to mourn this guy, and it's okay to remind people what a terrible person he was when he was alive. But to say he did not die horribly is to just minimize what actually happened to the guy. That shouldn't happen to anybody, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement to make. But I did see the other day that I think there's been 10 mass shootings or mass killings across the US since Charlie Kirk's murder that have just not been reported on at all. And
Yeah,
it's
they're
just,
daily.
It's de rigueur now, yeah.
There were a couple that were of homeless encampments, I believe.
Yeah.
Following on the heels of that one statement from that Fox News host, openly considering the murder of homeless people.
Yeah.
He literally said, "Just kill them."
And today, after the UN visit, one of them talked about, like, I don't know if I should say it on stream, but dropping those bombs on the UN, basically, because of the escalator not working for Trump and the teleprompter issue they had.
Wait, he said that?
Yes. Jesse Waters said that.
Oh, Jesse. Okay, I thought you were talking about Trump. I was
Okay,
like, oh, I mean,
this
still,
is my like
Waters
crack
said it
pipe
about it,
theory. I just want to throw this because I think I'm like the only one who thinks this, but like I've got a crack pipe theory that I think maybe there's going to be significant, depending on how long the Trump regime lasts, there's going to be a significant conflict between the United States and the European Union.
Yeah.
As it seems like that's actually where a lot of that energy is going. I mean, you'd think it would be something a little bit more jingoistic, but I think economically that's where the conflict is, because everything that the United States is like leaving on the table right now, the EU is going to try to pick up. And every like trade partner that the United States has like snubbed in the most horrific way possible, i.e. like China, they would love, as I think we saw in previous years, they would love to be doing more trade with the EU.
Well, we talked about it the other day that like Brazil and China both just said fuck the US, and they started doing their trades with each other with soybeans and stuff like that. So they're just leaving us out of the loop altogether.
You would think it would be
the issue with the EU is that they're not particularly pleased with China either. They've not got a good relationship with China. So
Europe, that famously not racist place. Yeah, I'm sure there's not going to be any hiccups there.
Well, I mean, so like you said, you would expect it to be more jingoistic, except if you look at like what he said today at the UN, what everything that he's done when it comes to international relations, he's serving the interests of Putin. Seems to me pretty clear. Like this is all, everything he's saying and doing is in an international sense, and even just domestically seems to be designed to put the U.S. in the worst position possible in every context.
Yeah, well, it's pretty clear at this point that the American right really admires the structure of oligarchy.
Yes.
I think that the one counter to that was I think he was genuinely annoyed that Putin completely ignored everything that they talked about during that little mini summit they had in Alaska. I think he's genuinely getting annoyed that Putin is treating him like a child.
Yeah, well, I mean, dictators don't really have friends, right?
Well, no, and everybody knew that Putin was laughing at him behind his back. But I think even Trump's starting to realize that now. So that's a brief glimpse of light, is that...
Well, I mean, there are so many people that work in intelligence that he should have listened to, that were almost certainly, giving him, reports of what Putin's about, how he operates and stuff like that, because the guy is old school fucking KGB. Nothing he does is without an underlying motive. Nothing he says, you know what I mean? So like, just seeing him just like fawn over him. And then there was that one video where, or one interview or whatever, he's talking to the press and he has a photo printed out of him and Putin like on the tarmac or whatever, and he's like, just like, look at this photo, it's a great photo, and it's like, oh my god, he's fanboying. It's fucking cringe.
I mean, you've all seen the shirtless picture of Putin on a horse, right? I mean,
yeah.
I'm just saying.
Can you imagine that it's like Donald Trump in like shirtless in like jorts on a golf cart?
How fucking dare you put that image in my mind? Oh my god.
Bob was literally just
saying
eating.
Putin looked good, but ew.
It would be like stripping like the cheese off a piece of pizza and sticking it on top of one of those little plastic tables that they put on the pizza to stop the box from touching it. That's what I'm picturing.
I'm gonna have to duck out. I have to vomit just uncontrollably now.
But I guess we should all thank Trump for paving the way for China to be the global hegemon of the 21st century. So,
yeah, that we're
thanks,
over here.
I guess.
Kind of DEI to me. You know, it seems kind of forced diversity to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look, everyone has their shot of being an empire, and that goes around in a circle. So it's China's turn this time, obviously. You guys had your time. We had ours before that. We all did horrible things to foreign countries. That's what happens.
So I have a brief video I'd like to look at that, and then you guys can let me know if you want to go down a bit of a rabbit hole after this. If you know, it's up to you. But this is a video from Secular Talk, Kyle Kalinske, and certainly you've all experienced some of the just the bizarre posts about Charlie Kirk over the last couple of weeks. You know, like liberals who have like come around, they've watched his clips, or they didn't know who he was, and now they see that conservatism is the way or something. Have you seen that shit?
Listen, all I've been dealing with, like, I've been dealing with in real life too, is that apparently every racist and bigoted thing Charlie Kirk has ever said in his entire life has been taken out of context.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
So just check this out.
I have to say, man, in the wake of the Charlie Kirk shooting, shit is weird, bro. Shit is getting really weird. So clearly, you know, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino and MAGA, they were desperately trying to make this not only a left-wing thing, but tied to like left-wing organizations. That fucking nothing came of that. That was always a fucking pipe dream. The idea that there even are like highly organized, violent left-wing organizations is fucking preposterous. It's just not the case. It's just not the case. So there was that. But then also, there's strange things were happening on social media, right? And I noticed one the other day. There was this weird, like, drawn-out tweet where people would say stuff like, I'm a Democrat, I've always been a Democrat, and I decided to take a look at what Charlie did, and I watched a bunch of his debates, and now I can say, maybe I prejudged him. Maybe I prejudged MAGA. In fact, now I'm registering as a Republican after seeing what he stood for. And I remember reading that going, there is a 0% chance this is real. 0. Right?
Yep.
Well, guess what? It's been proven that that's the case. So look at this. This is literally the tweet in question. As a lifelong Democrat, I didn't know what to make of Charlie Kirk. I've since spent several lunch breaks watching his debates, full videos, and I've come away with the impression that we got him all wrong. The reaction from those on my side of the aisle have really made me, and then it goes on to basically say, like, I'm disgusted by my side's reaction, and so now I'm going to register as a Republican. And as you can see here, multiple accounts.
I was just going to say, I love how it's verbatim. They're not even clever about it. They can't even write multiple versions of this. I mean, it's literally the exact same thing when we see review bombs, and we find the same review written verbatim by different accounts, review bombing on the same site. It's like, this is so fucking fake and artificial.
Right, but this.
Well, I don't know if he goes.
There is a certain segment of people who this probably works for. Like they see this and they makes them go, oh, maybe I need to rethink. You know, I don't know.
I don't know if he goes into it here, but at least, well, the Eric one is definitely a bot, and I assume the others are bots. And somebody tested the Eric one, and yeah.
Just normal comments, right? And they're all they're all verified too, so you know you can trust them.
Well, like I said, I don't know if he goes into it in this video, but somebody somehow gave the Eric one like a command, a bot command, and it responded in bot fashion.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe he probably maybe goes into it.
Which I find hard to believe because I'm pretty sure Elon Musk guaranteed that he would get rid of all the bots off Twitter. So
that is true. He did say that.
Yeah.
It's like the most botted website of all time.
I mean, he also said every year since I think 2014 that next year we were going to have fully autonomous driving, so drive self-driving cars. So maybe
yeah, we've been supposed to be on Mars like 5 times now.
Yeah.
Tweeted the exact same fucking shit, which means what? Bot activity. Paid bot activity. It's a psyop. It's a fucking psyop. Imagine the death of somebody like Charlie Kirk sparking a massive psyop operation. I mean, it's fucking unconscionable. But I knew something was fishy. I knew something was fucking fishy. And these cretins will try to use anything to gain an advantage. Anything. And so here we are. Now you get the leader of Turning Point USA has his fucking neck blown off on live video. And then you got bot farms out there.
Sorry, I was not prepared for that. That's it. That is funny. Just the phrasing is funny.
I wasn't quite ready for it either, but he's not wrong.
Had his neck blown up. Look, by the way, I saw a thumbnail that actually had 3 still frames from the moment that he was hit on YouTube, just like as a thumbnail. And I'm like, that's allowed?
Yeah, I saw that too.
No, it's probably not allowed, but I really don't think YouTube care. I genuinely don't think they care.
I just got a DM from someone not related to this, but we were talking about it earlier about the whole Tylenol autism thing.
Yeah.
And someone was saying that there's a big chunk of conservatives that are now upset about this because they say that all of this rhetoric is guilting mothers into thinking they gave their children autism.
True. Yeah.
Yes,
true.
that's what
So
it's
they're
intended
upset at
to.
who are they upset at?
No, a lot of conservative podcast guys now, there's somebody sent me a clip where they're upset about this announcement because they say that it's making mothers now believe that they're responsible for giving their children autism by taking Tylenol.
Yeah, that's what it's intended to do.
Is this pretense to like kind of start, or continue, I guess, taking any kind of choices away from women or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I have
It's
no
to set
idea.
up the pretext of rounding up autistic people into camps and so forth, and light treatment camps. So their goal is to make the parents feel guilty for giving their kid autism, so that when the state comes around to collect the autistic child, the parent feels relieved.
I mean, I have a clip here from a conservative podcaster that's pretty well known in like the Christian community.
Okay.
It's like a 1-minute clip, but we don't have to look at it right this second. But he pretty much talks in more detail about why they have an issue with it. So it's not so clear cut as I guess they thought it was going to be.
Oh.
By the way, what percentage of Twitter is inauthentic activity, aka bot shit?
Over 50%.
I read some of the shit says over 50%. Some of the shit says over 60%.
I would agree with that.
And I have to say, I think that's intuitively sounds correct, because to me, there's a big difference. Real life versus social media versus Twitter. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I get right-wing garbage pumped into my feed all day, every day.
Stay
and I
away
think
from
the whole
For You
point of
tab.
that, you're trying to give people the misimpression that like, oh no, this is like, it's done, it's over. If you're somebody on the left, feel alone, feel like nobody's with you, because nobody is with you.
Well, I mean, so I saw a post going around on Blue Sky, which, it makes a good point. Like, the only reason I have a Twitter account now is not my old Twitter account that I actually used, for various things and tried to engage. This basically now I collect stuff that from chuds that I need to get.
That's
for the
it.
Streams.
I bookmark stuff. That's all I do.
Like
I'll
lately, I've been
bookmark
trolling a little
stuff.
bit.
Sometimes I'll promote my stuff, but I do not post original content on Twitter.
But I saw a post, like an article that was written a couple months ago, I guess, but like there's literally no practical reason for you to be there, and in fact, there's reason why you shouldn't be, because it's probably fucking up, to some degree. It's just bumming you out, no matter how much you realize it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Like you're not saving the platform, you're not standing up to anything, you're not, there's no fucking war, or front to be won there. It's just a fucking white nationalist,
Is it weird? Is it weird that I just have no feelings about Twitter at all? Like, I just don't care about it. A lot of people say it fucks with them. It doesn't bother me. Like, I just don't.
I'll say it doesn't bother me either, but that's just because I'm not on it anymore. I'm just not there.
I use it to bookmark for topics and things that people send me, like on Discord and stuff. But I just don't. I assume that most of it is bullshit, so I don't even think about it.
The only
you know
reason I think the only value I think it has is like this screenshot I took the other day, the night of the memorial, because it shows just how different the realities we are existing in are, and Twitter, of course, is a big reason for it. But like, you know, there's David Pakman posting about how you know, vile and disgusting the whole thing was, that memorial, and then Grums, moving and wonderful. The radical left killed Charlie Kirk. Blah blah blah. More finding Jesus, and that makes the demons desperate. The less, you know what I mean? Like, it's just that was jarring to me, and I mean, in that way, I can see how. I mean, it didn't have an effect on my mental health then, but maybe if I was in a more depressed state of mind or something, it might.
I absolutely believe there are a lot of people that would be affected mentally by this. It just doesn't affect me that way.
Is that the guy who worked with the quartering?
Yes,
Quarter Black
Garrett.
Garrett.
He's also the editor for Nerdrotic. He's
also to some degree aligned with Blaze Media, because he was.
Yes, he's got his own show.
Yeah,
Intriguing.
I was going to say he works at Blaze Media.
Yeah.
Another the plot thickens.
Oh no, the plot has been thick as fuck. Like, there are so many of these chud organizations, like media organizations, that have a plant in Friday Night Tights. It's just undeniable that that's what they're doing, and you know, I mean, like, I've become clear now, but I mean, fuck, I've been calling it out forever. Yeah.
I mean, at this point, the plot is thicker than the slot between heel versus babyface's ears.
$5 super chat from Super Jones Bros. This is my last rant towards FNT. Nerdrotic is a piece of shit. He's a pathetic loser stuck in 2020. His grift is a stain onto YouTube. Fuck or Nuckford Roddick and FNT forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, did you see that you made it into the beginning of the lyric video of the song I just released the other day? So there you go.
Thank you for the support. I think that was on my channel. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
So yeah. Thank
Hell
you,
yeah.
For it. Thick ass plot.
I think this was in one of Malachi's videos. But I'm pretty sure that was when I first saw it. Nerdrotic made that remark, I think, about James Gunn. And it like made a reference to the idea that like Jewish people run Hollywood.
Yeah.
And I was like, is he just gonna go like full like ultra nationalist? Because I know he's been doing the Trump thing because he doesn't have that much juice in the
who are you
tank.
saying?
Nerdrotic.
Oh.
I mean, in the Jimmy Kimmel video that I saw part of, that'll get released later. Free promotion. But yeah, no, he is like full-fledged simping for Trump throughout the part of the video I watch. I did not watch the whole thing because it's completely unnecessary. But like, he is simping hard.
Yeah, I think he has to at this point. Because I'm sure you've all been keeping up to some degree with and I'm
Mr. Non-political, Mr.
TT something gaming. Forgive me for getting the channel name wrong.
TTBN Gaming.
Yes, thank you.
Oh yeah, TTBN. Yeah,
he's been going hard on the chuds in the gamersphere, and he pointed out something interesting that with Tectone, who has lurched further to the right as time has gone on, and Tectone's complaining that he can't say the F slur or the R slur anymore, and how it's ruined things because now they have to get more and more abusive with the language they use to get around the YouTube censors. And I thought,
or just don't say things that require you to use those words.
It's forcing them to be creative, and you know that they really struggle with that. You know.
Well, what struck me about it was in a way, he's sort of right, but not for the reasons he thinks, because essentially all they're doing now is they're trying to outrage people. So when people first started doing streams, gaming streams, they would say some offensive shit, but maybe every 5 minutes out of every hour. But what the new model of Chud has done is they've condensed all of those bits into their whole career. So they've taken the bits that people thought were, oh, that's so outlandish, I can't believe he's saying that, and they've turned that into their career. So
it's almost like, I believe last year towards the end of the year, I said they're going to have to get more outrageous because the stuff that they're doing isn't going to work anymore. And Quartering had to start a brand new channel where he rants about black people being more violent than white people.
Yeah, I've got
because,
that. I
because
pulled that
nobody
off.
was tuning into his old ass, dusty ass, fucking dead ass channel. So he had to start a new one so he can be even more racist over there than he is on his channel. So
I mean,
that was always the plan. The plan was always to go mask off and bring their audience with them that they've spent 5 years radicalizing into. It's like reaching the next level of Scientology. Like, it's always been, from the very beginning, a Christian nationalist front in fandom spaces. It has never been anything.
Some
else.
of them, yeah. Yeah,
And
definitely.
Whether they individually are believers or not, they are
Right.
functionally
That's the function that they've
tools
served.
of that.
Absolutely.
And now they're just taking the masks off, which was always the plan.
I do want to share this video quickly about the Tylenol stuff. So this guy is Eric Erickson. He's got my name twice, and I'm not happy about that. But he's a Christian broadcaster. He's a conservative guy, very MAGA. But here he's talking about this whole thing with RFK Jr. and Tylenol. It's only a minute long, but he's echoing something that I'm hearing a lot on the right about this announcement, which is it feels like they're blaming mothers for doing this, which is a little, it's not great. So
if you want to believe that Tylenol causes autism, that's fine with. I don't really care. Just don't take Tylenol if you're pregnant. But there are a lot of doctors who tell their patients who are pregnant it's the only pain reliever you can take. And I don't think moms who give birth to a child who ultimately develops autism should spend the rest of their life in guilt that maybe it was their consumption of Tylenol that caused the autism, because actually the greatest body of research out there suggests there actually is no tie between Tylenol and autism. In fact, again, the magnitude of the association between acetaminophen and neurodevelopmental disorders was generally comparable to or lower than estimates for aspirin, non-aspirin NSAIDs, opioids, and anti-migraine medications. As with acetaminophen, the association between non-aspirin NSAIDs, opioids, and anti-migraine medications and neurodevelopmental disorders diminished to 0 in the sibling analysis. That's the latest research of the largest pool of people on the planet, concluding that actually there really is no tie. Believe what you want to believe. I just think we risk guilting a lot of women, blaming.
So my point is with this, sharing this clip is I think they're starting to get, I think some of them are starting to get a conscience now, and they're starting to understand that all of this was not good. And we're seeing the people who were not in on it start to feel like, oh, wait, hold on. This isn't right. We know that years and years and years of research from the greatest doctors and scientists in the world say that all other pain relievers are far more dangerous than generic Tylenol, basically. But now we're telling moms that took that you are responsible in your pain for giving your child autism. And we shouldn't be doing that. And going with science. I haven't heard a Christian person quote science like that in a long time. I feel like this might be, we're weird. Getting into like the step too far for a lot of this stuff because it doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense. Also, Dr. Oz is has a stake in the whatever the medication is. I can't remember the name of it. Luverin or something. The medication that is being given in replacement of Tylenol for people with autism. It comes from a company that Dr. Oz has ties to.
Interesting.
God, Dr. Oz is such a piece of shit. I remember my mom was actually a fan of him when he first came into the limelight. He wrote a book that was pretty popular for a lot of progressive people, and he was for socialized healthcare and shit like that. God, what a piece of shit. He has fallen so hard. You know?
Yeah.
It's interesting that
reiterate the point that about Jeremy Hambley's thing real quick. I brought this up. It took me a minute to find it, but like, just you need to see this with your own eyes that he's doing this.
The video's bad. Don't even watch the video. It's really, really bad.
I mean, yeah, it's black people. Like, I mean, it's never been more mask off. It's never been more
with a make America great again, dark MAGA cap on.
Yeah,
I'll get banned for this video. No, you probably won't.
That's why it's posted, right?
Yeah,
right.
That's the problem.
So is he just doing the whole thing where he finds like security cam footage of black people getting in fights and then
It's a lot of him. It's just him sort of talking about it to camera mostly. But the comments are like, it's not guns, it's black people. Like all the people in the comments are literally just, it's full on racist.
He has not been doing this for a while. This is actually a ratcheting up from any kind of veil of you know, trying to pretend it's something else. Like he's never put it's black people in the thumbnail before, and then just a bunch of random black people. Like that's not something he's done. This is definitely an escalation.
And look at the views. He's seeing the views go up on stuff like this because YouTube rewards this kind of bullshit content. He's seeing the views go up on it on another channel other than his main channel. So I suspect he's just going to make more content like this. Next, it'll be it's trans people, it's gay people, it's Jewish people. I assume that's like the videos he'll be making after this one.
I mean, it is one of those things where, yeah, I can guarantee you that will be what it is because you can look at the views. Over 120,000 on that one.
Right.
Nothing else on this channel comes close.
Exactly. So why is that, YouTube? I've got a question for you, YouTube.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why is it that a race war baiting video made by someone with a MAGA cap on a channel full of really bad videos, probably the worst one on the whole channel, why does that one get the most promotion? What is the reason for that?
Yeah, YouTube, why are you monetizing racism? That's
Hover
incorrect,
over
YouTube.
that, Bob. Bob, is that your screen?
Yes.
Hover over that thumbnail. It's
Yeah,
monetized.
it is
It's
monetized. Yeah.
And there's no restrictions on it.
But he'll get banned for it, I'm sure.
Do what? What? Yeah. He needs to be fucking banned. I'm sorry. Like, he needs to be gone. It's fucking.
I mean, he should have been gone for one of the first videos he ever did, where he was advising people how to hide their child porn. That's where he should have gone back.
Yeah.
I mean, he should just not have a career just because he, like, put aside all the racism. His content is the most boring shit on the goddamn
Well, he lost Melanie
planet.
Mack because she basically quit. Melanie Mack hasn't uploaded a video in forever on either of her other two channels. Her gaming channel, she goes live, and that's pretty much it. Her main channel is crickets. It's been probably a month, maybe more, since Melanie Mack has uploaded a video. Just like I said, she quit YouTube. I called this when I made the video about it. I was like, she says she's taking a break. No, she's gone. She's gone because the money isn't there anymore for Melanie Mack. It's not there. And same thing with a lot of these other channels. I've been watching a lot of these other channels are trying desperately to hold on to their nickel and dimes from this content because none of them want to make this stuff. They don't really want to make it. They're stuck in the cycle of making money off of it. That's what it is. And
like you said,
allows it.
Like you said, that's going to push them into more and more extreme positions as they keep chasing the views.
Yeah.
Do you think she still has that storefront that sells that like merch where it's like that shirt with the drawing of her on it, like the shitty fucked up drawing where it says
I don't know. I didn't even know
it?
she had a store. I didn't know that. I didn't even know.
I thought that was like a shirt that she sold. I don't
know.
What I saw at the time.
If
she's not actually like doing this for a job anymore, I might not feel bad about dropping some money to wear that ironically.
I want to point out they need to be very careful about calling it Tylenol, which is why you see Trump struggling to say the actual name of the medication. They have to be really careful because Tylenol is a company.
Yes.
And they are slandering or defaming or whatever the word is for this company. They are tanking the company to push this garbage medication from Dr. Oz and try to find a scapegoat for autism. So that's why they've switched up and they've stopped saying Tylenol. But the problem is they are affecting Tylenol. So I would not be surprised within the next couple months that Tylenol starts to look to maybe file a lawsuit against the government.
Yeah, I was thinking that because what's funny is the reason he said Tylenol in his press conference repeatedly said it is because he couldn't pronounce the name of the actual generic drug.
Right.
I mean, in the UK,
acetaminophen is a very complex word.
Well,
by the way,
in the UK, we call it paracetamol, which I think he could probably manage, but he couldn't manage that. So, he switched to Tylenol after failing to pronounce it, and it could result in I hope it does. I hope they sue him. Turnabout is fair play. This is serious stuff.
They should sue him for $15
pretty
billion.
clear. like he still thinks that whenever he still thinks that people are coming from asylums across the border. Trump, I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what he thinks. That's what he thinks political asylum is.
Yeah, no. When you said that, I was like, is that what he thinks a political asylum is? Holy fuck!
No,
oh my times God! Now, and like, yeah, and it's clear that what happened is at some point somebody said that they're seeking asylum, and he fucking only half listens to anything, I'm sure, and then he just hears that word, and then nobody's corrected him. No, everybody's afraid to fucking say, actually, it's not. You're completely wrong on what you're saying there. Nobody's gonna say that to him.
He's like Boomer Aiden Ross. That's incredible.
Yeah,
I wonder, because he was saying Hannibal Lecter for a while for bizarre reasons. I want to know what somebody actually told him to say there, and he got it confused in his brain and said Hannibal Lecter.
Well, probably because he heard asylum, and in his mind he just connected with Silence of the Lambs and Hannibal Lecter's in an asylum.
I don't think the synapses are firing that much. I think somebody said something to him that sounded like Hannibal Lecter, and that's what he heard.
See, I was thinking that it's more like he's accessing the last like kind of cogent memories that he has, which are from the early '90s, maybe whenever fucking Silence of the Lambs came out. I don't know. Yeah, it's rough that this guy is technically the president, but yeah, as we said earlier, Stephen Miller seems to have his hand up his ass and piloting the ship. So that's good. We're waiting. We're still trying. We're here, God.
Well, there was a 2-day window on the Rapture, so it's all the way through the end of tomorrow.
So my question is, and I know they'll just change the date because that's what they always do. Yeah. But if someone didn't get raptured and I go like, hey, my friend who went to church every week, he's gone. Did you not go? Does that mean that they're going to feel like maybe they didn't get taken and they're stuck here with everybody else?
Not strictly speaking, because the rapture's not in the Bible.
Is this factual? This is, I mean, not to doubt you in particular, but I mean, is this something that we can confirm that's
yes, yeah, that's it. That's like leucovorin. I've never heard of it, but it's like a folic acid treatment that you do for autism. But it doesn't have any major, from what I could find, there wasn't a lot of major benefits from it. It's got some limited usage, but it's just like ivermectin. It's another one where they're just like, oh, this thing works and you should be taking this.
Well, I mean, but the giant difference there is that ivermectin, I mean, it was wrong, but I mean, it was at least ostensibly they were saying it would treat an actual sickness that you can get. You know what I mean? Whereas this is just like somebody's autistic and you're supposed to take essentially Tylenol and it's going to treat that. Like,
but I also want to point out that a lot of conservatives are also saying that when RFK Jr. talked about like removing things that cause autism, they thought they were going to be getting less medication. Now they feel like they have to have a prescription for something else. Now their child has to take forever for autism from his company, which is a problem.
I mean, if that's true, if it's vitamin B deficiency treatment, then they're literally selling snake oil now. They are, the government is literally selling snake oil.
Yeah.
By the way, kind of pivot real quick over to some just fandom stuff. We can come back to other stuff, but like first of all, there's this
fandom stuff.
Yeah. Remember we used to talk about that shit? What? I heard she was not going to be playing Captain Marvel anymore.
I heard she was fired.
1 second before we move further into this, the vitamin B thing, I just looked it up. Vitamin B treatment does not help with autism. In fact, it sometimes worsens certain neurological developmental issues. And there's like a whole list of stuff that causes a problem with. Anyway, we can move on. I just wanted to point that out. I just looked that up.
That's pretty good. Epstein-Offend.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Release some files, bitch. Yeah, so there's this of course from Cosmic Circus, I don't know if they basically just repost stuff they find,
I mean, so. I do think it's hilarious that they pretty much posted the 2 photos of Brie Larson that the chuds love to share around.
that she looks really hot in.
Well, we've already seen they released or didn't release, but there was an on-set photo that came out yesterday that showed like all of the characters in Doomsday, and she was not one of them. So I don't know if that.
Well, what is this though? Because this was also shared along with that. I mean, I know this is from on the right. That's from her movie, but like that to be her with the Doomsday jacket, unless that's fake image?
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't know for sure, but she's not officially listed in the lineup of characters. She could make like a cameo or something, but they said major role in that post you shared. I know she doesn't have a major role, so.
And then also I have a bit of a so some of the script leaked. Okay. We got a bit of script, because somebody just snapped a picture of the script for Doomsday, and we got it right here. So Dr. Doom says, "I am." Dr. Doom slowly takes off his mask, revealing a familiar face, Tony Stark. Doom. Spider-Man says, Mr. Stark, is that you? Smart Hulk says, so the good guy is now the bad guy. Shang-Chi says, I need to post this on Reddit. Aquafina says, what is you talking about? Deadpool and She-Hulk both say, now that's what I call a cash grab. The Wasp says, finally someone is taking off their mask. Wong says, I must depart. Captain America says, Avengers, assemble. And then Optimus Prime says, I am Optimus Prime. So that's going to be a critical movie.
That's real.
I believe this is
real.
genuine. Yeah, 100%.
This is real. I was there. I saw it.
The award for best screenplay has just been locked down.
Yeah. Do we have any Eric July fans in the audience tonight? Any Eric July fans? His Rippaverse is doing so well now. He's bringing back For Canon's Sake again. Because he's so busy, he has time to do a daily live stream called For Canon's Sake. Also, I want to point out he doesn't watch any of these TV shows or movies anymore, so I don't know what the stream's going to be about. Also, somebody pointed out that it should be For Canon's Sake.
Yeah, I've said that.
Yeah. So he argued on Twitter that no, it shouldn't. It should be For Canon's Sake, because he doesn't understand what that means.
That I kind of baited you, tried to bait you in your server about Eric July and the Rippaverse. Somebody had posted in the Rippaverse subreddit about they'd asked AI whether or not the Rippaverse was failing. And we could look at that if you wanted to. Or I did want to also say that there's a little bit of a rabbit hole we could go down. I looked into the history of TPUSA, Charlie Kirk, how exactly he got not his start, because he was a self-starter, in terms of starting TPUSA at 18 years old, but at 19, 20 years old, what really boosted this guy to the position he's at? What was he essentially seemingly groomed for? Who's the money behind Turning Point USA? And why the fuck was his memorial essentially a fucking fascist rally? And where did all that money come from?
Yeah.
Right there, because I've got answers to that stuff, but it's up to you guys.
Well, we can do that, but I'm kind of Charlie Kirked out, so I might not want to sit through the whole thing.
if anybody is interested, back in April, I put out a really long video called "The Truth About Anti-Woke Grifters," and there's one of the 7 sections in that video is about Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA and the affirmative action grift. I swear I didn't know. But it has turned out to be kind of prescient because of the way that people have tried to lionize this guy, whose whole thing was I could go to college, but what if I lied about black people for money instead? And then he just lived that until he died.
Well, the one thing about Eric July bringing back For Canon's Sake, I wonder is if he's going to now be complaining about the canon, the deviations from canon in ISOM. He could be going on a crusade about the idiot that messed up the continuity of that series.
So my personal vote is we can dive into Eric July, and then if we're still up for after that, we can do some of the TPUSA stuff, because both interest me. But I do feel like Eric July is a bit more what our fan base is looking for.
Yeah, somebody asked in the Rippaverse subreddit, I have a quick question, and then it was actually not a quick question at all. Imagine that. I mean, the question he ultimately asks is it failing or not? But then he shows his conversation he had with, I guess this is Google AI that he used, Gemini or whatever. So no, the Rippaverse is not failing. It is a profitable direct-to-consumer business that emphasizes sustainable growth and profitability over vanity metrics, according to its founders. So you're literally asking AI, and it's telling you what the founder says. Who, that's not really the best way to come about a truth of a matter. Eric July and their business strategies. Let's see. The perception of failure stems from misconceptions about how the business operates and a misunderstanding of how to interpret sales figures.
That's Eric July speak. That is the AI copying how Eric July talks. Well, I recognize his style.
Well, it becomes way more obvious that this is not something to trust whenever it conflates dollar sales amounts with units sold and says that he sold 100,000 copies of the omnibus. When actually it sold less than 1,000 copies of the omnibus and made $100,000. But the AI gets those things confused. So
I'm not convinced this AI business is very
Yeah, it's kind of not.
They're starting to lock away all of the usefulness of AI behind a paywall. So I feel like a lot of people you'll see a lot less people using it at that point.
So the misinterpretation of numbers. This is you, Eric. You've done this. People may focus on superficial sales figures without understanding. What do you mean superficial sales figures? Sales figures matter
without understanding the broader context of the business. I mean, let's be clear here. Eric July is one of the most, and I hate to say this, like in terms of his numbers and his units and stuff, he's one of the most transparent people because he puts it all on his website. So there's no missing context. Everything is literally on his website. You can go there and look and see it, unless he's fudging the numbers.
If this was even accurate, which it's not, is not true or accurate read of the thing, then it would be his own fault that people are misinterpreting because of the information that he puts out. Confusion with crowdfunding. Oh, this is definitely Eric July. It's not crowdfunding. The direct consumer model is sometimes mistaken for crowdfunding platform, where failure is more easily defined by unmet goals. And he always meets his goals because he establishes the arbitrary goals himself and changes them, based on what he, at least reasonably expects to get. So yeah, focus on profitability. Is it really? I mean, this is so dumb.
Yeah.
Long-term viability. Yeah. Do I need to bring up the chart again? I'll bring it up. But yeah, just to real quick here. So the Ripiverse years 1 through 3 omnibus approached 100,000 book orders by mid Q3 2025. That's crazy. That's a crazy number. Books.
That would be the best-selling thing I think Eric July's ever done.
Right. And it also calls this Nor Africa. Glorious Death #1.
Close
That's
enough.
not even. Yeah. That spelling mistake probably came from Eric July's website, though. So
the fandom appears to be growing. Do we need to go check out the subreddit again?
Yeah, the subreddit is a ghost town full of like trolls and stuff. It's nothing going on there either.
Well, that's where we're already at, actually. So we might as well check it out.
How many people are online right now in the Ripiverse subreddit?
Literally none.
Nobody.
Oh my god.
Hey, Braxcast holding it down, man. Fucking way to go, Braxcast. You're just like the true fan.
The Horseman versus Iceman.
I laugh every time I see that name. The
Horseman.
So stupid.
Played
Wait,
by
Isom-
Dean Kane.
Isom has no formal martial arts training. Then
Well, he doesn't need it.
will
He's
lose.
Jesus power.
And his weakness is lack of gadget proficiency.
Then he's going to lose
That
that
seems
fight.
like a
Sorry.
weakness if he's using gadgets.
Wait a minute. Did Ripiverse actually put this out officially? In the corner it says 2025 Ripiverse. It's got like a little copyright registered
guarantee
thing
they
there,
probably did, yeah.
So like, yeah,
this is so crazy. Can we look down at the bottom left? Weaknesses, no accept abilities.
Accepts is a worse name for a fucking.
Oh yeah. You might not be aware that they're called their mutants are called accepts. Yeah.
What? For exceptionals, I assume.
Not accept. No,
Yeah, they're mutants or they're metahumans are called accepts.
Just accepts.
Because they're exceptional, I think is.
Oh, that's.
I mean,
that's
it makes
that's
sense
so
once you hear the explanation. The explanation is just that
It makes sense when you understand that Eric July is not a real comic book guy and doesn't understand the concepts that he, maybe superficially read when he was collecting them for money back in the 90s. Yeah.
Dane, you're not supposed to say that out loud.
I would describe Eric July as a talent vacuum because not only does he suck, but everyone that comes into his orbit gets worse. It's like he sucks the talent out of other people and sends it somewhere.
I mean, I used to enjoy Chuck Dixon back in the day, but fuck, Alpha.
Oh, that stream that Dane and I did went down the rabbit hole on that Reddit post.
Yeah, that was fun. That's on the Show Clips channel if anybody wants to check that out. Where we looked at, there's a pretty great Reddit post that went over the history of him being so against not only like anything that remotely. Well, basically, so he didn't want his younger teenage characters he was writing, like who was it? Dick Grayson or Who was he?
I think
writing
it was
with?
God, what was his name? Tim
Chuck,
Drake.
Chuck, you mean
Tim
Chuck
Drake.
Dixon?
No, yeah. Who was he right? But like basically he went out of his way to like have the characters rejecting the advances of these harlot girls that were trying to take him on dates and stuff like that. And it essentially he went so far with it makes the character look gay in several cases. And then
and later on somebody made Tim Drake bi.
Yep. And it kind of makes a lot of sense.
It's like it made sense. I mean,
run. Yeah.
No, maybe they're ace. You know,
could be that.
Yeah.
Look at the engagement, man. This is crazy. This fandom is really popping off here.
I think it's interesting how they all appear to have the same fucking icon.
Does Braxcast even get any views? Do people watch his live streams?
I don't think so. No.
Braxcast.
42 views 2 weeks ago.
Zero comments.
4 likes. Woo.
You know, you would think that being that this person is so dedicated to the Rippaverse that Eric would give him a shout out or something and let people know that
we said before, I think he can't, because for one thing, that would be taking any kind of interest away from people who might just spend money on the book, in Eric's mind, I'm saying. And then also it would highlight the fact that this is the only guy that does this. It would poke a big hole in the illusion that there's a fandom that's fucking excited about this stuff, because, you know, it's like, well, why don't you have other people on? Well, he's the only guy that does this, you know. So,
but he's out there challenging a bit too. So I've got to imagine there are as many podcasts or streams about DC and Marvel as there are about the Rippaverse.
Oh, also, you know what the name of his channel? Velvet Room Publishing. This is the reason, I bet, more than anything, because Eric July thinks that would be a competition. He would be helping competition.
Oh, because it says publishing. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So
this,
yeah,
go ahead. Sorry, Jared.
I just want to say, like, if you're like a creative and you're making something, even if it's like there's like one guy out there who really enjoys it, you know, as long as you're still dedicated to making that, if that guy's like talking about the stuff that you make and like gassing you up, you should be supportive, you know. I just feel like that's really sad to like,
and I think anybody that's making
that kind of fandom,
anybody that's making art for, you know, like legit reasons would do that, but he's not. So he doesn't.
I wanted to point out, I just got somebody sent me this. About 1,200 immigrants held in Alligator Alcatraz are now out and missing. They cannot find them.
They're gone. They can't find them.
The Gators got him.
So this, you know, this kind of there's stuff that's like that's popped up here and there in the news that hasn't gotten a lot of attention, that is been on my radar, that's making me very concerned, because it starts to look like much more like the beginnings of, you know, historical examples of things that have happened that aren't good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the scientist behind Trump's Tylenol claims was paid to give evidence against the drug maker. Apparently, the Harvard academic Andrea Baccarelli gave an unreliable testimony on the links between autism and paracetamol, as Ryan was saying there, and produced research that raises serious concerns about bias, and was paid to do this. They were paid directly for this testimony. So,
yeah, I don't know if anybody has seen, but Sean has put up a new video. It's 4 hours, but it basically it debunks everything in a basically an anti-science book, it's definitely worth watching, because it's crazy how interconnected everything in that thing is, why they hate cancel culture.
The Epstein connection part was crazy.
Yeah.
When at the beginning, when he shows the blackout photo where he's like, "You won't guess who this one gentleman is," and I'm like, "Oh no!"
But it highlights a point that there are probably plenty of right wingers there who are pulling quotes from that book to prove how out of control cancel culture and DEI is, and it takes him 4 hours to thoroughly debunk all the stuff in there, whereas you can lie about it in 5-10 minutes.
Oh, wait, are you talking about the anthology book of like washed up science people like Lawrence Krauss and Eric Bogosian, and not Eric.
Yeah, Krauss is the
Peter Bogosian,
author of the book. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, the
But
war on
the-
science.
the-
We talked about this on the Fatcast a while back because the war on science, and they're focused on cancel culture and shit. When it's like, except the administration is actually doing some real anti-science shit.
Well, that's what
literally.
Sean points out. He points out that clearly this book was written before they thought Trump was going to get re-elected. But
I don't think
the
so.
relevant section in there is that a woman who says that the opioid crisis was overblown happens to be funded by the company that makes the opiates responsible, the oxys, basically. So yeah,
we
same
got some super
grift.
chats here. Yeah. Space and Goats, $5 super chat on my channel. Thank you so much. By the way, we're 3 out of 5 super chats on my channel. If we hit the goal, you guys get to pick the chat I react to. The poll is up in the chat. Used to be on the right, and the anti-woke grifters drove me from the right and ended being more left for some liberals. Nerdrotic was the catalyst.
Well, that's
Actually,
good to hear, and I can see
Comrade.
why Nerdrock would do that. Because, Jesus
Shout out to my
Christ.
based Dragon Age enjoyer.
Yeah. And then just
Extremely
an extra
talented.
dollar here. That
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know
Just
what-
now. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it, Space and Goats. I've seen a lot of those comments recently, especially on my Q&A post, where people are telling me that they are breaking away from that now, like over the last couple months. I'm not sure what's happening, but I'm seeing a lot more people who are no
This
longer
brings up,
interested in watching.
reminds me of something I said I thought we could cover maybe, but like this is honestly the kind of thing that everybody should go look at on their own time as well, because there's so much of it. But you go to Saltier Than Crate and this post, have you all actually in fact actually got into alt-right pipeline without knowing it, or you somehow managed to avoid it without knowing it? And the answers are kind of overwhelming, just like in terms of how many there are. And you know, it's really stupid looking back, but I fell into that rabbit hole after The Last Jedi. Same, because Admiral Holdo was written to be a bit of an ass and was actively standing in Poe's way. And this, they talk about, you know, Last Jedi for a while. Used to watch Mahler, Critical Drinker, The Quartering. After The Last Jedi came out, really didn't like the movie. Still don't for my own reasons. I'm not sure how I got out, but damn, that was close looking back. Only watched Mahler, and even then just a handful of videos. Well, some people are just like, no, I didn't really fall into it, or I barely did for a minute or something like that. But there's a lot of people that, you know, it's just kind of enlightening to read through these. And there's a lot of them.
Yeah, and it's an easy thing to do because I think it's harder now just because they've continued to shift while new audiences coming in now can see them for exactly what they are. But when they first started, it was all so much milder, and so it seemed like genuine criticism. But the more and more you see that criticism repeat, if you're in it, the more you see the same criticisms, and the more times they hit those same notes, some of those things are going to be about things that you enjoy, aren't they? So if they're criticizing a film that you really liked because it's too woke, and you're like, no, it wasn't, that starts to
Look,
pull
I
you
would
out.
just challenge anybody that's watching right now that thinks that we're a bunch of woke, you know, lefty, you know, radical commies, whatever the fuck you think. If you are confident in your views, I challenge you to go read through this thread and just see what you think about these replies. If you don't, I would just say that I would think that you maybe don't feel like your views can hold up to reading some of this, because it is pretty fucking powerful to see how many people are just like, looking back, and this is the main sentiment I've gotten from people on my channel over almost 6 years, is like people saying, I can't believe I fell for that. I feel so fucking embarrassed. And I always tell people, don't be embarrassed that it happened. Be proud of yourself that you fucking figured it out, because there's a lot of people that don't and won't. You know, to be able to recognize that you've kind of made a mistake, and it's not entirely your fault anyway, because these algorithms are fucking, you know, that's what they're doing. And then the people that are making the content are intentionally manipulating the algorithms in order to get you fucking hooked on this shit and make you think that it's organic and make you think that you're coming to these conclusions by some fucking, you know, natural train of logic, when that's not what it is. It's activating your fucking emotional responses to things that maybe you have some valid criticism of a movie or whatever. That's not what we're saying. But yeah,
I want to point out that the GIF at the top of this thread says it's like a clip from a Mario game, and him dodging a bunch of stuff, and it says 9-year-old me somehow managing to avoid the alt-right pipeline or something like that. And that drives home a very important point that a lot of people who fall down this rabbit hole do so when they're still kids. And that reinforces why you shouldn't feel guilty about this, because you didn't.
It also reinforces why their content should be fucking age gated, and it's not.
Yes.
Because
I've been saying this for a while. You know, I've been saying this for a while, that content is not appropriate for all ages. I've said that for a while.
And I mean, we've seen no clearer example of them absolutely having no idea what they're talking about than this week with that heel versus babyface tweet, where he exposed the fact that despite doing this for years, has no idea about the first thing about media literacy or storytelling or dialogue.
And then what's his response when he gets called out? Like Eric he called it in his video about the thing. By the way, good job on that, Eric. You're always fucking calling this shit. You know, his response whenever people started calling him out was basically just like, you're stupid and gay for calling me out on, it's like, there's no sincerity involved in that engagement at all. It's all just fucking,
so childish. I mean, that's the sort of thing I expect from him, because he is a big fat baby. But he made a stupid mistake because he's an idiot and doesn't understand storytelling, and thought this was an opportunity to jump on the grift that nobody else had spotted. Everyone called him out for getting it completely wrong because he's a giant idiot. And so what does he do? He doubles down and he says, actually, you're all the idiots. That's a Cartman move.
Was this a cyborg thing?
Yeah.
I
don't know.
They always do this. They post content that shows anyone who knows what they're doing that these guys are not engaging with the content at all. They're not watching these movies or reading the comics or anything. I was looking at a Literature Devil video the other day for some ungodly reason, and he was doing his breakdown of the movie Prey. This is a new video. He decided to rewrite Prey.
Oh my god!
Very
to
timely.
make it like conform to the hero's journey, and he keeps mispronouncing the name of her brother, which is in the movie is Tabe, and he keeps calling the character Tabe multiple times. And this video is still public.
I mean, maybe he should watch the movie before he attempts to do some sort of breakdown of it. I don't know.
Exactly.
I do want to give a quick shout out, though. I had a super sticker of vibes from Space and Goats. So thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate it. And another $1 super chat. Thank you so much. I do appreciate all the support, you guys.
Yeah, they are lazy. And in fact, in terms of IP relevance, this Peru here is just so fucking stupid. He seizes on the fact that it says this is a relationship story, as if the Predator's going to be banging this half a android in the movie or something like that. That's seems to be what he's appealing to. I don't know if he actually.
No, they definitely are. Didn't you know that?
It's so fucking stupid. This is a relationship story, and he's like, "Oh, relationship with some random witch." Like.
Apparently, this Peru has only had relationships with people that he has banged, which is why he doesn't have relationships with anybody.
I'm pretty certain that
because he can't get anybody to get close to him because of his trash mouth.
Well, look, the Predator franchise just needs to put out a film that embodies masculine Christian virtue, and everything will be fine.
Well, I think the problem here is just a language miscommunication, because clearly his parents' relationship is with relations of each other. So I think that's where he doesn't understand that there's that dual meaning of relationship.
Bob, old ways Bob. What was the name that you gave him a while back? It's like Tommy Trashwater or something like that.
I think that was it.
Yeah, it's fucking funny. Just looks like a Tommy Trashwater, that guy.
It's so interesting how much this is like a case study, just this post itself.
Yeah.
For like the lack of media literacy, that someone, I think it was you, Dane, like used that term a moment ago. One of you guys said that, and that just like stuck in my brain as I read this, and I was just thinking to myself just now, this is like, it reminds me of like that like old EFET beef about themes. It just reminds me of that, because if you understood like the idea of a relationship story in terms of like thematic ideas and
In the
thematic
history of the
representation.
IP, there has not been a movie where there's been like a relationship developed between a predator and another character, right?
Yeah.
That's what he's referring to.
I think this relationship only means like romance or sex. It's not just like any connection you have to another person is a relationship.
Well,
Yeah,
I
think
this kind of was
takes...
a little bit of that at the end of Alien versus Predator. This kind of happened very briefly.
Well,
but
I'm not counting those. I was thinking maybe you could make the argument for slightly at the end of not Alien, Predator 2, where the Predators decloak and then they give him the ancient gun. That's the closest you can think of. I could think of
That's more of a casual.
Thank you, Big Fieldy. Appreciate
Ships
it.
passing in the night kind of thing.
I do have it. There was Trump posted out basically a self-report just a couple of minutes ago on Truth Social. I have it down here in the bottom. About Kimmel. Here. So anybody who said that, I guess it was just a little bit longer than a few minutes ago, but I guess anybody that said that he had nothing to do with this or this doesn't connect to Trump at all, he goes, I can't believe the ABC fake news gave Jimmy Kimmel his job back, which, by the way, Jimmy Kimmel has nothing to do with ABC News.
What? It says there the White House was told by ABC
the show was canceled, not indefinitely, canceled. Something happened between then and now because his audience is gone and his talent was never there. Why would they want some back who does so poorly, who's not funny, and who puts the network in jeopardy by playing 99% positive Democrat garbage? He's yet another arm of the DNC, and to the best of my knowledge, that would be a major illegal campaign contribution.
What?
I think we're going to test ABC out on this. Let's see how we do. Last time I went after them, they gave me $16 million. This one sounds even more lucrative. A true bunch of losers. Let Jimmy Kimmel rot in his bad ratings.
For me, it's all in that second sentence. That is him saying "fuck the First Amendment."
Well, also, which one is it? Are you going to sue them, or are you going to just let him rot in his bad ratings?
It's also cool, or not cool, but it's interesting that he doesn't know why Kimmel came back. No one informed him what happened.
Well, this is the same thing with the previous thing we just looked at. It's difficult to tell what these fucking people often like. Do they understand what's really going on, and they're just saying this because they know their audience are fucking kind of stupid and just reactive, or do they just actually think this way? I don't know.
I can't believe this whole thing is a self-report, and like you said, Bob, right at the beginning. Right at the beginning, the White House was told by ABC. Keep in mind, fucking all the people running defense for this in my comment section said the White House and ABC had no communication at all. He's saying here the White House was told by ABC that his show was canceled.
I'm like before this, pretty much the story was essentially Brendan Carr.
Right.
There might be a threat from Brendan Carr, but not from fucking Donald
There's
Trump.
a threat here from him. I think we're going to test ABC out on this. Let's see how we do. Last time I went after them, they gave me $16 million, admitting that the last time he did this and he got money from them, it was all just to see how far he could go.
Yeah. But also,
really want him to sue them this time.
Yeah, from 2023. I saw this.
Trump seems to be unaware in this truth tweet, whatever it is, that Disney apparently lost $4 billion of stock valuation and had hundreds of stars refuse to work with them, and almost every talent agency in Los Angeles told them to go fuck themselves.
Right. Yeah.
And all this other stuff. And that is why they reversed course on this.
So, but he's also admitting that he is going to, at least in some capacity, attempt to get money out of them over this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really hope he does. I really hope he tries to sue them, because there's absolutely no grounds for it now.
Well, I'm getting kind of frustrated because, he threatens to sue them, and then they just fucking roll over. I'm getting
at the same time, in the same time, he's appealing to campaign finance laws, right? While he's talking about using his position as president to sue for money, it's ridiculous.
He doesn't have to sue them. He can just have the FCC suspend their license.
Yeah.
Well, I want to point out too that and this shouldn't be understated. I think it's difficult to even grasp how much of a fucking own on all these chuds that we typically talk about this Disney giving Kimmel his show back is, because it shows that they literally have no power. They literally, even if they get their fucking guy into office, he's the president, and he fucking puts, you know, pressure on the FCC, and they, you know, he does what he did. Even in that case, so many people are against what they want out of media that they gave Jimmy Kimmel's job back. And it's they have no fucking power, these shuts. They can't, you know, force anybody to do anything. And they think
we are more powerful than them. Yeah, we are stronger than them. We outnumber them. We're more powerful than they are. And it indicates that like all of these corporations think that America is way more MAGA than it actually is. Because Trump barely won the election, and they're all acting like it's a mandate in the landslide. Because
that kind of
his
points
regime is not.
Just to kind of tease what I'm going to be talking about on Friday, real quick, because the idea that they're all this stuff they're doing is popular is just false. The stuff that they're doing is massively unpopular. Like in terms of you know, pretty much anything they've been doing lately. Most people want to see what's going on with the Epstein information files, whatever you want to call it, list. And like, okay, so for example, Jimmy Kimmel can get to what, several million views on a show any given night of the week. Whereas like Charlie Kirk, the Sinclair, by the way, Sinclair was going to air a special for Charlie Kirk the other night, and they decided quietly to not do that, and they just put it up on YouTube. And when I looked at it yesterday, after, you know, being up for a couple of days, it had about 60,000 views.
I know it wasn't doing particularly well. I was probably gonna look over it on my stream, but
this whole fucking thing is astroturf beyond belief. The whole idea, like, nobody knew who fucking Charlie Kirk, or the people that anybody that you see out that actually legitimately is snowed by this fucking propaganda about him being a moderate or whatever. They didn't know who he was prior to a couple of weeks ago. Most people couldn't have picked him out of a lineup. When was the last time you even fucking thought about Charlie Kirk prior to him being killed? It was when he got fucking owned by a college student a year ago in Jubilee, or when he got owned by that feminist in UK.
I was about ready to say when South Park did a little bit with him. It wasn't
that
much,
too. Right? But like prior to that, he was fading in relevance, but you know, and that the reason that they seized on his death so much is because, for one, they were looking for something. If you look back at prior to that, they were trying to paint the radical left in LA and blah, but nobody was doing enough for them to justify the crackdown that they wanted to do. And so they, you know, that's why it went into motion so quickly whenever he was killed, was because they're like, oh, here's our moment, right? And they're going to get their investment. They're going to get their money's worth out of the investment. And there was quite a lot of money invested in Charlie Kirk over a long period of time. Anyway, we'll get to that Friday.
I was gonna say, did you also see that they posted the National Guard had cleaned up so many things? They were posting like how much trash they'd removed in different cities. They're like, oh, they did landscaping here and they removed trash there and all this other shit. And I'm like, so you deployed the National Guard to do janitorial and landscaping? Like,
well, I mean, they can't do it. They're busy on Grindr.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So let's get this right. They wanted to figuratively clean up the trash, and they actually ended up literally cleaning up the trash. Cool.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, the as thing. I don't know if you talked about the second thing that he did. We talked about it last night on my stream, but he doubled down on it and pretended like he did it all to own people, to make people angry or whatever. It's like, come on, dude.
Oh wait, we got a seat in Arizona tonight. Is that right?
Yeah.
Sweet. We, as in, I mean, it's we.
Well,
yes,
I mean,
when I say we, I'm talking about people who aren't fascists, I guess. Not that I'm a fucking proud to.
Yeah, no crimes solved, just janitorial stuff. Yeah, pretty much. Overpaid janitors. You know what? I got a solution. Pay janitors what you pay the National Guard, and just let them go home. How about that?
Maybe let's pay everybody a living wage. Maybe
that's a good one.
Maybe everybody nobody who works full time should be poor. I don't know.
To quote a famous guy, maybe you let the people who are smarter allocate those resources. You know.
Oh, apparently the person won in a landslide, so it was pretty big. And there's 2 more up for grabs. So
surprise, motherfucker! Surprise!
I missed that meme.
Bob, I meant to ask you: have you ever got any pushback from the Tyrone Magnus video from him? Did he ever come out?
No, I've got nothing from him. I was semi-expecting it because I've heard the stories, and I was like, fuck it.
Some people want me to react to him, but I'm like, I wanted to see, like, you were my guinea pig.
I haven't
wanted to
gotten
see what
anything,
happened.
no.
Yeah.
That's probably one of my more popular videos recently. Of course, I've been, fucking making videos I've been wanting to make that get no views, so that happens. God damn it. My Star Trek Enterprise rant was fun to make and hilarious, and it's got like 100 views, but god damn it was fun.
There's 100 passionate Star Trek fans that tuned in to that
Yes.
video. So.
Yeah, I mean, that just once again goes to show what content YouTube pumps into the algorithm, because that's what people tend to respond to.
You can put it's black people, and then that gets 100,000 views on
I'll
YouTube.
just crap on all the black people in Star Trek.
The racial controversy of Star Trek Enterprise. Just change the title of that. See what happens.
Yeah. All the picture, all your thumbnails should be a picture of Ben Sisko screaming, and just put the word it's black people on the thumbnails no matter what.
Ben Sisko, it's too dated. You gotta go Michael Burnham.
Yeah,
just put the black guy on the thumbnail, like quartering, and then like in the video, you're just like, he's awesome,
So somebody was telling me that, and I haven't been able to find the channel, but apparently there's a channel on TikTok, or an account on TikTok, where it's a white guy that just goes to like people of color's businesses where they serve food and tries to eat it and then spits it out and says it's too spicy, and he does that at all of those businesses. And
is it satire? I hope it's satire.
No, it's a real
man, because that actually could be a funny sketch if it was satire. Like,
it would be, because then it's like, white people don't season their food,
right?
But no, he goes there and he's like, I'm going to go try this 5-star, Spanish restaurant or whatever. And then he bites into it. And he's like, and then he just spits it out and he's like, oh, it's too spicy. I don't know how any of these people can eat this food and stuff like that. Like, that's kind of what the videos are.
It's really telling on yourself.
Self-own a little bit.
Yeah. 70% landslide in that election.
Damn.
Holy shit.
A lot of that is probably name
Arizona.
recognition. Don't we shouldn't read too much into that, because her dad, Raul Grijalva, was very beloved.
But we can read a little bit into it, because it's Arizona.
Yeah.
And they've been doing quite a bit to paint everyone not MAGA as some kind of fucking demon possessed whatever.
Well, I'm not saying don't celebrate the win. I'm just saying it's a lot of that landslide comes from the fact that she is Raul Grijalva's daughter.
You know what? Somebody just pointed out. Yeah, damn, that's crazy. Where are the Epstein files? Yeah. Somebody just pointed out that Trump's tweet now would pretty much guarantee he would lose in court. If they go to court and they share that tweet, it's almost a guaranteed loss for him. So
unless they get a judge that's favorable to him,
that might be tough depending on where. So yeah, I know exactly. Those left-wing liberal judges.
Oh, something I wanted to touch on real quick too about. I know it's about Charlie Kirk, technically, but I mean the grift is fucking incredible, man. The enormity of this post-death grift is, once again, it's inorganic, and then also it is organic in the sense that so many people on the right and otherwise, I assume, just see an opportunity to make money, because of algorithms. And for instance, somebody who has not been doing so well in his career saw an opportunity here. The dark reason Hollywood ignored Charlie Kirk, and you got what's his name? Zachary
Levi.
Shazam.
Yeah. And what they're talking about is the Emmys not mentioning him.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that, and it's like he's not a TV or movie star. Why would any of them mention him? He was a fucking grifter. I'm sorry. He was
I don't know.
Because we all must honor him.
We must honor him. We must honor. His name was Charlie Kirk. Tom McDonald. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's like, okay. Also, have y'all seen that Forgiato Blow video?
No.
You know who that is?
No.
It's the white dude that's trying to like culture vulture black people.
Yeah, but he's kind of gone a little bit further now, because him and this country dude put out a song called "Hang 'em High at Sundown."
Oh, I didn't see that part.
Oh, I heard about it.
Oh, that
atrocious.
Sounds bad.
It's as like, I mean, it couldn't be like, I can't even fucking express how bad it is. It's upsetting that this is even fucking, it's allowed on YouTube. You know what I mean? It's clear what they're talking about. It's clear what they're saying. And the kind of shit cherry on top of the whole shit sundae is that, you know, they're white guys using music that was, you know, created by black people to talk about, you know, hanging black people. Fellatio blows. I mean, I don't know why you would choose Forgiato Blow as your fucking rap name anyway, but it's yeah. Joe Lonsdale is a co-founder of Palantir. I didn't realize that channel that Zachary Levi was on. Interesting. Yep, literally explains, just gives you step by step on doing a lynching. Oh, he said that's true.
disturbing.
He said that with the hard R in the song as well. Just says it.
But it's just jokes, guys. They're just joking. It's sad. It's
Yeah, at least they didn't say anything as offensive as what Jimmy Kimmel said.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Because apparently there is a line to free speech, and it's anything that possibly argues with their agenda.
Yeah, it is. Just so you know what it looks like here. Got these two guys. Fucking. Sorry, what were you gonna say, Eric?
No, I was gonna say that I was trying to find, because I saw the clip come up or whatever. I didn't click on it because this guy's a clown. But I actually saw that the video was released, I guess, in response to Charlie Kirk, or was it before Charlie Kirk?
So they filmed something. I saw there was something kind of behind the scenes look at them filming something at a Charlie Kirk memorial or kind of event or something kind of thing. That was like, that seemed fucking weird too.
Sorry.
Incoming defense, except the lyrics are literally grab a short piece of rope, hang it over a tree at sundown. You know? Like it's not that. Look, I mean, look at them. They're literally taking a rope. We need a big tall tree and a short piece of rope. Hang them up high at sundown. It doesn't get any more clear than that to me. You know, leave them swinging so the folks on low and don't mess around in our town. I mean,
what? Goddamn, dude! How many views does that video have?
Well, I mean, I don't know the original video. I guess I'm not seeing that. I don't think there's a bunch of stuff talking about the video, but over 100,000 views as of 6 days ago. So,
well, it's not great, but it's not as bad as it could have been.
Oh wait, so here is the song that I guess, the song called "I Am Charlie" by Forgiato Blow, and it is just straight up showing pictures of it. You know what? Before we get out of here, I did want to look at something real quick, if you guys are cool with it. So, was Charlie Kirk racist or not? This video makes a compelling, very quick, compelling case against him being racist. So. Quotes out of context. Well, let's not show those quotes in context. Let's just appeal to. So what this video does, it's almost over. It takes like 5 of the 8 most famous black conservatives and quotes them being sad that Charlie Kirk died. And that's it.
Oh, well, obviously he's not racist then.
Larry Elder. There he goes.
Goddamn, Larry Elder. Fuck.
That guy's still around.
and this is actual racism, by the way, like just appealing to the fact that they are black people and they've said this. Like and then also Ben Carson, come on, man. Candace Owens, Ben Carson, Larry Elder, and that's it. And Charlie loves them, and they love Charlie. And then here's
no.
It's literally
the item that could have been.
Charlie had black friends. So
somebody did have another super chat here as well from Big Fieldy. I'm not sure whose channels that's on.
Let's see. Oh, where's that?
Right here. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Big Fieldy.
I
Okay.
just found it.
Zach Levi started as Shazam and is now Black Adam. I mean, Black Adam has like some kind of moral code.
Yeah.
You know, he's very much wants to
He's more
defend
like
his people.
Dr. Savannah.
Yeah.
I'd say he's more like very white Adam.
Just be conscious of the. If you see something that is obvious Charlie Kirk grift bait, just fucking please take the moment to click don't show me this. You know, for your own sake, and just because we need to kind of it's going to be a problem for a long time. And so it's something we need to kind of just recognize is we need to take some action on. Don't click on the video. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we need to move on from this. The algorithm is going to keep pushing it and keep trying to lure all of us into like engaging with it, and we just need to stop.
And while the algorithm is pushing it, you know, the Trump administration will use it for as much as they can get away with. And when I say Trump administration, I'm really talking about his Heritage Foundation Project 2025.
Yep, the Dunn Foundation, which used to be called the Foundation for Arts and Right Thinking. Take a moment there if you need to.
I think he's kind of already fading out, though, a lot quicker than they would have liked. I think I would be surprised if it manages to survive another week in the news.
Yeah.
Hopefully nothing more horrific will displace it, but I just don't think it's got the legs.
Well, I said last week, I think to somebody that the Charlie Kirk thing is going to become like Benghazi is. It's going to be something Republicans constantly talk about among themselves as if it's some great scandal, and the rest of the world will be like, "What? Who?" But
that thing that's been investigated was kind of irrelevant. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to keep animating them and keep making them mad all the time. But the rest of the world will have moved on and not care about it because it's a nothing burger. And my comment didn't post, but the acronym for what Dane said is FART.
Yeah. And that was what the name of the foundation was for a long time until 2016. And I guess somebody finally pointed out to him, hey, it spells fart. They're like, what? Oh my God, this is embarrassing. And they changed it. But yeah, I'll be talking about the Dunns on Friday and how much they almost certainly pumped cash into probably social media, you know, boosting, you know, Charlie Kirk posts as well as because this was their golden boy. And he was also Trump's golden boy. It's become way more clear to me how close Charlie Kirk was to Trump. In the sense that he was apparently before Trump bombed Iran. Charlie Kirk was urging him not to do so, and that they apparently got into a kind of a yelling match about it. But they were still friends, which tells you how close they were. That even though he would tell him don't do that on behalf of Israel, and Trump got mad about it, they argued. They were still friends afterward. That's pretty close, I think.
Yeah, the way they went so hard for this tells me that they were either in the process of grooming him or planning to groom him as some kind of successor at some point, and that was snatched away from them, and it just broke them.
Well, Erica Kirk was she was Miss Arizona 2012 in the Miss Universe pageant. Guess who owned that at the time?
Oh, Trump.
Yeah, and then Charlie Kirk's dad was an architect who worked many buildings apparently with Trump over the years. So there's connections going back quite a ways.
Apparently, Trump is the one that introduced her to Charlie. That's the running story now.
Seems to be the case. And then also, Epstein introduced him to Trump to Melania. So just where's the fucking Epstein files, you know?
Where are the Democrats sponsoring the Charlie Kirk Open the Pedonomicon Files Act of 2025, right?
The fact that they're not pushing bills named after Charlie Kirk right now, like the Democrats should be pushing bills named after Charlie Kirk right now. That'd be fucking amazing.
Gun control.
Yeah, I was about ready to say the Charlie Kirk gun control bill.
Right. because he was killed
Common sense
because of gun
control.
violence, and he wanted to open the Epstein file. So let's take up the flag and honor him.
Yeah.
Put his name on a bill sponsored by Democrats and force the Republicans to vote against it.
She was not. She's actually older than Charlie was by a few years. So.
Oh, I also thought I'd point out, you guys are familiar with Milei, right? Argentina and that whole situation. Yeah. Apparently, there are rumors that the U.S. is going to secretly bail them out because their finances are catastrophic. This libertarian president has been awful for their country, apparently.
The one that
the U.S.
was going to be great for them.
Oh,
I remember that.
Yeah. But right now they're talking about it. There's an article from AP News where it says Trump has been stating there's going to be no bailout. He doesn't think they need a bailout, but secretly word is that they are planning on giving them some sort of financial support because their economy is failing under this libertarian administration right now.
Yeah. And we're trying to do the exact same thing to our economy.
Apparently they can't figure out how to build roads. I'm not sure if they
Did they ask somebody that a libertarian maybe? Wait, they are libertarians. Weird.
This is libertarianism, like 101 level shit.
Yeah.
Rookie level shit. You're not fooling nary a libertarian with this shit. Okay.
The whole ass roads got them in the end.
Yeah, we need to build a goddamn flat space to get over there. Just do
for
that.
The hoe ass roads. We need a pimp ass interstate for the hoe ass roads, and we just don't have it.
Oh my god. Yeah, and apparently the people.
I don't understand it.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist it. I had to.
No, I'm glad you did it because I wanted to, and I was like, I'm not going to do it if people don't like to drop it. But no, the people of Argentina are rejecting this shit pretty.
Oh, absolutely.
And it goes to show that these things can turn. America is obviously a very different country. There's very different, set of circumstances, probably more complex in terms of how deep this shit goes in our culture and politics. But it shows that these things can turn.
Maybe we can elect our next president through Discord.
Yay!
Which is something that just happened in another country.
Well, that's more secure than mail.
Yeah, it's something that really just happened in another country.
No. What?
Yeah, there was a coup, and all the Gen Z people who led it voted by Discord who the next president's going to be, and then the military went, okay.
Oh my god!
I forget which country it was, though. I want to say Burma, but I could be wrong. Or Myanmar, excuse me. But I'm sure that's not it. But yeah, all over the world, like South Korea did this. We're the only country that failed to stop this, really.
That's crazy. You're right.
Brazil immediately arrested Bolsonaro and all the people behind their coup attempt.
What country is it where somebody's getting sentenced to like a decade or something for doing this? What country was that?
That's Brazil. Bolsonaro.
Brazil. That's right. Yeah.
He got sentenced to 25 years, and he's in his 70s, I think.
So that's a life sentence then, essentially.
Yeah, and he's the former president of that country, and he tried to do a January 6th down there, and it failed, and they arrested him immediately. Oh, it was in Myanmar. Okay. So yeah, there is still hope, folks.
I was just I wanted to bring this up while Chariot was here in case she had heard the news or not, but I don't know if she's AFK or not.
Chariot?
I think
she might be AFK, yeah. Before we go, just briefly, in Texas, they're going to try the thing, which is a bathroom access restriction for trans, non-binary, and shockingly, intersex people, which is not the same as trans and non-binary people. Intersex people literally cannot. They have no sort of like some intersex people don't even know that they're intersex. That's how it works. Like it's really difficult to do that.
They found some way to do this without actually like having to check the genitals of children or anybody that might not be any of those things.
Well,
right? Like
they don't in the actual legislation itself. It doesn't explain how they're going to enforce it. It doesn't say how, right? Which is why it's probably going to come down to something weird. But here's the crazy thing. They're not going to find the people. They're going to find the businesses because they know that if they find the people, it is going to be a profiling issue and a violation of people's rights. So they're going to find the businesses for not making sure that this doesn't happen. And the businesses will get fined $250,000 per report, meaning that they don't even have to prove that someone did it. If you're at your local bar and you think there's a trans person in the bathroom, and you go and you tell the bar there's a trans person in the bathroom, and they don't do anything about it, you can call the hotline and say, hey, there was a trans person in this bathroom, without them even being able to go in and do any sort of questioning or anything like that. They will fine the business $250,000 for that. So they don't even care that they can prove it or disprove it. So I don't know how they're going to enforce it, because if they were to try and enforce it, it would be through the businesses. Like the businesses would have to hire someone to literally stand at the bathroom to watch people go in and out of the bathroom. And then how do you determine if somebody is trans or cis or non-binary or intersex? How do you determine that?
I'm going to just say this. I've said this before. There's one clear solution to this. Just eliminate gender segregated bathrooms.
Yeah,
it's just infuriating. Just
Yeah.
end it all.
But also, Eric, isn't this up for abuse if somebody was to call the hotline on specifically like Republican-centric businesses?
Well, that's the thing is, I was going to say that because, like, also Chevany here goes, trans and cis women are going to end up getting harassed too. Yes, everyone will get harassed. Everybody will. This is the problem with these kinds of laws or executive orders or whatever. So, yes, you're right. If you decide you don't like white nationalist brewing company, you can just go there and call and say, hey, they have trans people using their restrooms, and every time I go in there, I see a trans person. They're going to find them because they don't have any way to.
And this is Texas, right? As well,
yes. Yeah.
Where Joe Rogan's comedy club is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Seems like if people really didn't like Joe Rogan.
By the way, there is a trans influencer that just left Texas last month to go back to LA. Named Blair White, who probably knew through inside information that this was going to get signed into law, and that's why she left. So
or she just experienced a lot of fucking bigotry because it's so just casual around, And
I think the easiest concession on this is to just make all bathrooms lockable, like a door. You walk into a stall, you lock the stall, and you're in there by yourself. Just make all of them like that. One set of bathrooms with single entry doors, and that's it. That's all it is. But that would require businesses to pay for that because the government's not going to fund any of this. They literally just want money from the businesses. They think they're going to do something by doing this, and you're going to end up with a bunch of conservative businesses that are going to self-report and get fined for it.
I mean, the thing is, though, is that this is all based on the notion that there is some kind of issue with trans people preying on people in the bathroom or something like that.
Yes.
And so like that, even just doing what you said, which would be a reasonable thing to do just anyway for any reason, but like still it's taking that premise way too seriously in the first place. Like there's no reason to be addressing bathrooms.
I agree with you, but if they were actually concerned about safety, that's the stance they would take. Like that would be the next stance would be just make everything a family bathroom or a single stall bathroom for everyone, right? Where you lock the door behind you. It causes the least harm to everybody if you do it that way, even if they're coming at it from a bad position. The point is, I would rather have a bathroom to myself, and I think most people would agree. I would love to go in a bathroom by myself. Like when I worked at the mall, I went to places other than the public bathroom, like the stores that had the individual bathrooms, because I just didn't want to use a bathroom where everybody else is standing around using the restroom. I think most people would agree with that.
I personally love the experience of going to the urinal and having this row of empty urinals and having the guy walk up behind you and choose to use the urinal directly next to you. It's a fantastic experience, I think.
There are bathrooms where everything is just open and there are no locks on the doors, or like stalls, like urinals where you go in and it's all just one long line, and there's no partitions between it or anything like that. So
yeah, we do have
the purpose of laws like this is to enable private citizens to harass people they think are trans without consequence. That's what the law is intended to do.
Yeah, it's like you're right, and it's
also a secondary effect would be that it would encourage people just like, you know, implicitly to just like be more masculine or more feminine presenting, you know, therefore like kind of appeal, like fitting into traditional notions of what these things are supposed to be.
My belief on this is it's not because he's not going after individual people, he's going after the businesses. So my belief is this will end up in court from a business that is getting like constantly, you know, having calls done to them and getting reported on. They're going to end up in court, and this will go back to the Supreme Court, which has constantly and just recently sided with the fact that don't want to get involved with being the bathroom police. They've said this many, many times. They don't want to be involved in that. And this last ruling they did said that, hey, trans people should just be able to use the bathroom without getting harassed for being trans. And we're just going to, and this is coming from the Supreme Court we have now, which is crazy, right? I even said when that ruling happened, I was like, this is crazy. So the standard has been, even with the Supreme Court in the state that it's in now, that they don't want to be the bathroom police because there's no way to do it. You're going to have to start checking people's genitals, spend 2 weeks waiting for a DNA thing to come back to prove that whatever your biological sex was or whatever your sex was assigned at birth, you're going to do that. You're going to pay people to stand in the bathroom and do that. And when I've asked people, like, would you drop your pants? Say, for example, you as a cis person who has an issue with trans people in the bathroom. What happens if you went into the bathroom and I went to the bathroom police and I said, I don't think that person is a cisgender person. I think they're a trans person. Would you be okay with me doing that to you and then the bathroom police forcing you to drop your pants so they can see what you have? And most of them are like, that would never happen. Well, then how do you enforce it? How do you enforce it otherwise? Phenotypically, especially without our pants down, we're just going to look how we're going to look. And I hate to use this term because passing is not really something that a lot of trans people aspire to, but there are some trans people who just generally look more like the stereotypical gender that they're not on the same side of, right? So that's just the way it is. Some do and some don't. But there's a lot of cis people that also don't look like the gender that they were assigned at birth. So there's a lot of men out there like Scott Pressler, who doesn't necessarily look very macho and masculine. Is he going to get people calling on him every time he goes to piss in the bathroom? You know what I mean? Like, also, what if a trans man goes into the women's room as a trans man? Do you think that's not going to be a big problem? That's going to be a big problem for sure. So go ahead. Sorry.
The way it's enforced is by private citizens who are not law enforcement can individually harass people without consequence. That's the enforcement mechanism, and that's the intended enforcement mechanism. And the fact that they're going to find the businesses is giving them a level of plausible deniability and legal protection from liability for doing that. The whole goal here is they did the same thing with abortion and the bounty hunter laws, where you call up and a private citizen can stalk someone and get $10,000 reward if you prove that they got an abortion in Texas. This is the same thing. Private citizens are the enforcement mechanism.
I like this comment right here. Like, yeah, crazy about those bathrooms. How about you release the Epstein files? How about that one?
Exactly. That should be our response to every single thing.
Yeah.
Every single
It really
thing.
should. I mean, I've challenged people a couple streams now. I've said, I challenge everybody to at least once a day, on a public platform, mention the Epstein files in a relevant place, underneath some news post or whatever it is. Just everybody needs to do their part at the very least.
Yeah, well, I think it was mentioned earlier that there's a new statue in Washington.
Is there?
Oh, the Jeffrey Epstein and Trump statue that got dropped off? Yeah.
Oh.
They don't know where it came from. It just appeared out of nowhere. But there's a statue of Trump and Jeffrey Epstein shaking hands. Yeah.
They're not just shaking hands. They're fucking
shaking hands. Yeah, you need to see the picture.
They're like dancing.
I haven't seen the actual thing. I just read about it on
oh my god.
Online. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I pulled it up pretty much the same time you did. That's amazing.
That is crazy and amazing.
Well, it's made out of gold, so Trump.
Anyways, back to the Epstein files. Yeah.
Crazy about the bathrooms. What about the Epstein files?
Yeah, they do look a little skinny, both of them.
Man, crazy that Kimmel's back, but what about those Epstein files? What's happening with that?
I mean, that's a very flattering statue of Trump, though. But what about the Epstein files? Also,
he looks more human on this than he does in real life.
Also, I saw this just now. I think it's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a lot of like logical inconsistencies with these guys.
Yeah. It's almost like they don't think things through and they're just kind of reacting based on like their feelings and their vibes and stuff. I don't know. I'm just working on a theory there.
Well, here's the crazy thing, Gila Monster. The businesses, at least in my state, I don't know if it's in Texas, but any business that serves food has to offer a public restroom. That's the way it is in my state. So yeah, they have to have one.
But they can also say, the business can also say you have to buy something from them in order to use their bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'll probably happen, I assume, is that businesses will say that is our restroom, and on this, when you go to walk in, it'll say this restaurant doesn't assume any responsibility for, you know, who uses this restroom or something like that, something along those lines. They'll try and find a legal way to get out of it. Anyway, the Epstein files. So,
anyways, about them, about them files.
Oh, well, there's Epstein files that need release.
I really wanted to hear Chariot's take on it, but I guess she's AFK, so it's fine.
That's all right. Well, trying to think if there's anything else we needed to cover before. Other than, you know, Critical Drinker just keeps on posting or sharing tweets that are not real and based on fake shit.
Oh,
he just keeps doing it. It's kind of a habit of his.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I saw this.
And he also just is comfortable just saying, you know, that now.
Well, it seems like he's the only resident there based on
right. Yeah. I mean, today in this land that I'm the mayor of,
maybe not just believe a random tweet that's been posted on.
You guys remember whenever he retweeted that literal Nazi post about the Indiana Jones movie?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Like literally, just like the name was like Aryan something or.
Look, maybe the child's phone had evidence of it on it of when he did not beat up that 11-year-old.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
He did not
also
legally
release the Epstein files.
Yeah, I was gonna say, would that 11-year-old incident happen before or after the Epstein file release?
The 11-year-old was probably like saying, "Hey, Critical Drinker, when are you going to demand the release of the Epstein files?"
Yes.
And he beat him up because you can't have him, you know, doing that.
If
and
I
then
were
they
a cynical man, I'd release the Epstein files.
In my head canon, what happened then was that in order to get the charges dropped, the little kid demanded that Critical Drinker give him a platform on YouTube so that he could make multiple hour-long videos reviewing, you know, movies, quote unquote, reviewing movies when all he's doing is kind of nitpicking and being pedantic about everything.
And all that money is going to that kid. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
That kid's name was Ranting for Vengeance.
Oh God. I keep seeing people making videos about him, and it's like, maybe we should stop now. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I covered one of his videos, and it's just pure fucking bigotry. Like, there's not even anything to debunk. It's just bigotry. And
I think it's run its course. I think unless he starts saying stuff that's going to get him thrown off YouTube, he's got nowhere else to go.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know. Somebody else just made a video about lynching people, so he could probably get away with it.
Yeah. Oh, whoa! Apparently the other guy, the second guy that was going to try and kill Trump. You remember that? That one kind of went under the radar.
Yeah.
He apparently tried to stab himself in the neck after the guilty verdict today.
Whoa.
Which is crazy. And you know what? I think I can say this. Guilty verdict was probably the right verdict in this case, you know, based on what a little bit I'd seen. So there you go. I don't officially as a position of the Shillcast wish that he had been successful in his attempt. I don't. All right, on that note.
So guys, I'll be live tomorrow. Gonna cover some comic books. Probably still cover the Charlie Kirk propaganda, but we'll see. But yeah, I'll be live tomorrow. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to subscribe to everybody on this. We got Actual Fandom. We got Eric Debunks Eric's Reloaded. I'm Organized Chaos Podcast as well. We got Bob the Old Ways over there. We got Nothing But Media. We got Chariot. And we got the need to release the Epstein files.
Yep. Brand new YouTuber called Release the Epstein Files. It's actually been around a while, but you might not have heard of him.
I'm going to change my channel name to Bob of Release the Epstein Files.
Actually, Release the Epstein Files is going to be mine. Yeah. All these people are linked in the description, by the way, as well as others, and you should subscribe to all of us because something algorithm suppressing something. We're
Epstein
victims
Files
of cancel culture.
Can anybody reach out to Chariot and check on her?
She's had to leave before due to various. I think she's got roommates or some situation that
okay.
I think she's fine.
If it's normal, then okay, it's cool.
It's happened. I don't know if it's normal. I will check in on Discord, but yeah. All right. Eric already did the other day, and it doesn't seem like they're worth covering. Talking about clownfish.
Yeah.
They're on their way out.
Doing all Charlie Kirk stuff.
Well, and I saw that in that post we looked at, the Salted and Crate with the people that had gotten out of the algorithm all right pipeline. There were several people that have listed clownfish as being one of if not the first one that they kind of got hooked on. So to see them kind of on the way out is pretty good. It's a good thing. Hopefully that this, look, the Charlie Kirk thing isn't going to sustain any channel forever. So if whatever channels are getting a boost, we just hope that they don't find another way to keep their hooks in the people that they've got, right?
I was mistaking them for side scrollers. Maybe Clownfish TV is doing all Charlie Kirk too. I don't know.
I remember back, I think it was even shortly before I even started covering the Chuds. Clownfish TV was Kevin Smith. I think actually called out Clownfish TV for going after.
Yeah, that was the last time they had anything, and they definitely seized on that. He made a mistake there. Kevin Smith did.
Yeah,
even acknowledging them because that's what they want. But yeah, Friday. Be sure to check out Live AF Friday because I'm going to make the point that I don't think that there really are Republicans anymore. I don't think that any of what we're seeing are Republicans. I'm pretty confident that what we're seeing are libertarians, and that most, if not all of them, that are relevant right now are accelerationists. And they're pushing the country off a cliff intentionally, and I think that does apply to people like Nerdrotic and Tim Pool and all these people. I think that I've been lacking a full understanding of this whole thing for a while, and I kind of just, due to recent events, came to this conclusion that I think that's what's going on. But yeah, I'll make that case on Friday, as well as looking at the history of.
Is 100% correct. That is something Charlie Kirk regularly preached about.
Yep. Don't waste your time arguing with these people, guys. If you're gonna do anything, make content debunking stuff. Be thorough with that. Don't engage with them generally, like on social media, because there's no point. There's just no point. Other than that, if you do anything, if you can't do much at all, if you can do one thing, ask them about the Epstein files multiple times a day in relevant spots. Don't let it go away. So on that note, let's see what we got here. Oh wait, I'm gonna change this outro video because we were talking about a thing, so make it more relevant here. Yeah. So I don't know. Here's some jams.
How many times you think we ain't felt all the things? How many times we say we oppose taxation? What about the roads? How many times? What about the roads?